I'm MC Toon. This is an after show from Modern Day Debate and sort of kind of also from FDFE when he debated Tony Nayum earlier. We might talk about both, but certainly right now we're going to talk about the one with on Modern Day Debate that had Nathan and Davey versus these two guys. We got Word of the Wild and Snake Was Right. How are you guys doing?
So good.
Excellent. Well, I paid attention to all of the super chat Q&A part of it, but I did not see much of the rest of the debate. So we'll cover, I think, mostly, you guys can bring up things because I think I kind of know a little bit what Nathan probably said anyway. And but before that, let's do this. How about both you introduce yourselves? I've got the links to your channels in the description if anybody's interested, but let's go with you first. Word of the Wild.
Hi, my name's Jonathan. I was a Calvary pastor for almost a decade. I'm just going to read the same thing because it's great. I'm a father of 3, married to my amazing wife for almost 13 years. I'm a hobbyist homesteader at Ganondorf, Maine since Melee, and I work as an electrician, which is boring.
Excellent. And Snake Was Right?
Yeah, hi. I run a channel called Snake Was Right, and mostly do just about epistemology for various different subjects. And today we did Flat Earth.
And I think you like Star Wars a little bit.
I do, yes.
Oh yeah, I see that there.
My Globe Earth starter pack, as they call
it. they like to say, you think Star Wars is real.
Yeah, see, if you're a flat earther, are you not allowed to watch that stuff either? Because it's propaganda or something?
I think basically nothing is allowed anymore that's entertaining.
See, that would just I would just leave that on that basis alone. If I couldn't watch sci-fi.
I watch Star Trek with my kids.
Oh, I did too recently. I introduced my boys to the prequels. I cried.
The Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Okay. I'm not a fan of the prequels.
Yeah, they're not popular.
No.
Did you cry because they were so bad?
I cried because I love them so much, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Oh.
I am also a unapologetic prequel apologist.
I cried so hard in front of my sons.
Something's wrong with that.
It's probably the globe.
Snake, we'll have to debate that one day.
Snake, there's your. I don't know if it was happened before or not, but your microphone, like there's a background noise when you talk. So
that's his computer fan.
That could be.
It might be.
Yeah. Zoom may have like a setting to do noise cancellation. I know it does. I don't know if you're on the client instead of just through the browser, you can turn it on, but we'll have to deal with it then.
Background noise. It's on auto right now.
Okay. There you go.
Medium. How about that?
No, it's still there.
It's just the gate just opens and.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think there's much we can do.
I could scoot my computer a little further.
Could you turn your computer off?
Yep.
That'll do.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Angel Gamer even unapologetically loves episode 1. Oh, what have I done? What have I done wrong?
You open the flood.
Yep. All right, let's do this. What was, you think, the craziest thing that Nathan said and of course didn't have any evidence for?
It was overwhelming.
It's a flood of wrong.
I guess I would have to go with when he was trying to say that. Did you catch the part? It was right at the end where he was trying to say that gravity should just accelerate things infinitely past
exponentially
air resistance.
Yeah.
I think that one takes the cake.
Yeah, and he's like, it's your claim. I'm like, no, sorry, that's not our claim. And I've seen flat earthers do this, and I suspect that Nathan is of this, because his protege Austin has also said the same thing, that they miss that it's between the centers of radiuses, or the centers of mass of the two items, right? They think it's from the surface of the Earth. So they're like, from 2 feet up versus 4 feet up, there should be significantly different gravity, they think, because they're measuring from the surface instead of from the center of radius, or not center of mass. I'm pretty sure that's one of the things. The other is basically that's Coulomb's law, which they don't get either with, but that's electromagnetism. So, wow. Yeah, I did hear that. It hurt.
I mean, one of the scary things is it's just so surprising to hear these things at you. Like, I've watched so many of these things, but when you bring up some point and then they say, well, NASA lies about this, and there was bubbles, and there was harnesses, and there was green screens, and you're like, oh, I mean, to me, it seems like there's been videos about these, and there's been thorough examination and reasons given for these things, but it just seems like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and well, the one thing that's a pretty consistent is, for the most part, the flat earthers don't watch our content. The globe.
Do they not?
They generally don't. There's some that do, but generally they do not. So when they're like bubbles in space, and there's been 500 videos, or maybe not that many, but that address that, they'll just keep going because they didn't hear any of the debunking of it, right? They go to their echo chamber and they isolate themselves and protect themselves in their echo chamber, so they never get challenged in their echo chamber. And if you look at, right, I'm in a bunch of their groups, but I don't say anything because I'll get kicked out as soon as I make one comment. So wow. In Nathan's group, his 120,000 that he kept exaggerating how many, it was never 140,000, but he said it was. He's like, everybody's welcome. I applied. I wasn't accepted. One of the admins removed my ban. I applied again, and before he could go in and approve it, I was rejected again.
Did you try to go in under a pseudonym, or did you try to go in?
No, I'm in under a pseudonym.
Oh,
it was my regular main account that they rejected me from. So yeah. Well, yes. And so, yes, I did just admit that I do have a sock account on Facebook in all these groups.
And this is what he calls a research group.
Yeah, there was no research in there. He doesn't actually know what research is, of course. Mm-hmm. Surf says Nathan brought up NASA using Saros cycles. Did he bring that up?
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
See, if he watched my content, he would have seen the video that came out this week.
Recently, yeah.
On Saros cycles, where I actually covered what NASA uses. But he doesn't. They don't look at anything. They're not interested in learning the truth. They're interested in confirming their bias. So,
yeah, they hear anything that confirms it, and they just run with it infinitely, forever.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to get more into that. Like, that's kind of why I'm interested in this whole thing, is me coming out of like young Earth creationism and things. I get why things can happen like this, and like seeing so many, I'm so interested in cults and why people can believe these things, aliens behind the moon and all these. And they're all very similar, it's that same thing. Like you said, it's the confirmation bias. It's not wanting to hear the other side. It's ignoring anything to the contrary. It's really amazing and fascinating.
And neither of us are really experts in this specific thing. Neither of us are like geophysicists or astrophysicists. But
no,
it's
they
important for, well, yeah, neither are they. But it's important for regular people to be able to do at least basic things, to be able to understand or take a side on these things.
Yeah, and well, Nathan is very schooled in tricking people. Right? Mm-hmm. That's his thing. He's like, I've debated astrophysicists. The thing is, when an astrophysicist or whoever, they're not coming into a conversation with somebody thinking that, they need to answer ridiculously stupid questions. You're caught off guard if you don't know what's coming. Mm-hmm. So, and now you guys have watched stuff, so you weren't caught off guard at least, but there's still, it's a good deception on their part. They're very good at deceiving people.
It is amazing. And I can see the allure of it. Like if you weren't aware of any of this happening and somebody came up to you at just the right moment in your life where you're feeling lost and feeling kind of meaningless, and somebody comes along and says, did you know that the whole earth is made for you? The sun shines and the beam comes right to you, and the earth, I could see that being very appealing, and it does immediately go with your just basic experience. Okay, yeah, you're right, it doesn't feel like I'm moving 1,000 miles an hour. It doesn't feel like, so it makes so much sense why people can believe this, because we're fallible humans and it's easy to do.
Yeah, and their target market is the people that don't have the background, right? Most people don't go and get a STEM degree, right? Mm-hmm. So that's their market, is the people that haven't received those things. If you look at the most of the flat earthers, they're not well educated in a strong science. So. And Nathan, who has no science background, when you were asked questions, can you do science without an experiment? And the answer was, Taylor, I think he asked you, right?
Yeah, I don't get all the questioning around these things.
So the answer that you gave is correct, that you do not have to do an experiment to do science. But the what they're doing is they have narrowed down what they think science is. And there's one guy, Quantum Eraser, or maybe QE, you heard during some of the super chats. QE, he's the flat Earth leader in bastardizing science. So he's really good at cherry picking. So he'll go and he'll get one sentence or part of a sentence from some scientist that says what he wants to say about science. Right. So QE likes to say that science proves things. It doesn't, but he'll go get a quote from a scientist using the word proof when they're not talking about whether or not science proves things, and doesn't bother to go look, because he's not looking for truth. He's looking for confirmation. He doesn't go find other statements by that same scientist to see what they have as an opinion on actual, does science prove things, because there are many people that have that. So I've gone to some of the places that QE is quoted and found from the same people, when they're actually talking about whether or not science proves things, where they unapologetically say, no, science does not prove things. So, all right, so that's all the background to where it's coming from. And so how they do it and what they've put together. Well, QE likes to refer to a website that's designed for middle schoolers on how to do science fair projects. So if you're telling a science fair participant that's in middle school how to do their science project when they're not a scientist, right? You kind of skip over a lot of things, don't you? Right? You need to give them a cookie cutter recipe for what to do, because they have no clue. So they give a step-by-step, this is the scientific method. It's not actually that rigid. They say things like, well, you need to do an experiment. Well, for a science fair project, that's good advice.
Yeah, it's trying to be comprehensive.
Well, it can't be comprehensive, actually.
Yeah.
It has to be the opposite of comprehensive. But they treat it as if it is comprehensive.
Yeah. But like you want to teach, when you're teaching everything, well, not everything, but the basic, the major parts of the scientific method, you're going to try and teach them all at the same time. You're not going to teach every derivation of that to like middle schoolers.
Exactly. Yeah. And different fields of science are going to do things differently because of whatever, right? You in human medicine, there are some types of experiments that you just can't do. It's not ethical.
Yeah.
Right.
It's well, it's kind of like they obviously bring this up. It's all cherry picking, where you teach physics 101 teaches flat Earth models because, and they say it in the question. They say assume a flat plane because it's just simpler. As soon as you start bringing in all these other variables, you can't really teach the first stuff if you're trying to calculate the curvature of the Earth and everything all at once.
Yeah.
And so you teach the simpler model.
Yeah. Did he bring up the government documents that assume flat Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've reviewed actually all 44 of them. And I have them on my website, mc2.net/govdocs, GOVDOCS. And all of them, without exception, confirm the Earth is spherical, or confirm gravity by mentioning it. Every one of them. And typically, though, when it says assuming flat Earth, it also includes a bunch of other assumptions that we know are not true, like airplanes are rigid. Assume that airplanes are rigid. Airplanes are not rigid. They flex. Why would they do that? So that this particular model doesn't have to account for that.
You probably missed in the beginning. Davey kept calling me model boy because I asked him, why do scientists use models? And he
We don't
would not
live on
answer.
a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I haven't heard that before.
the reification fallacy is
He did say that a lot.
yeah, that's the living on a model. So that is where you go to the model, and when reality doesn't match the model, you stick with the model. That's reification, which is exactly what flat earthers do. Flat Earth doesn't match the model, or the reality doesn't match the flat Earth model. So, but they stick with the model.
And that's the thing that always bugs me about it, is that, and like the Kent Hovens of the world. They it's so easy to like poke holes in other people's work. I mean, just this vast wealth of hundreds or thousands or millions of scientists' work. It's so easy to just go, well, this guy said this thing wrong and this thing there and this thing wrong. But to do the work yourself and to create a model that we can poke holes in, I mean, they don't want to do it because it opens themselves up for poking holes in it, right?
It every single possible model ever presented for flat Earth fails instantly.
I think you shouldn't believe anything if it doesn't have a model, like just on that basis alone. If it doesn't have a model, I don't think it's reasonable to believe. Is that wrong?
Nathan's in the chat. Nathan, I sent you a link. You can come on in if you want to talk. He's be the change with no spaces in there. So, and yes, they don't claim a model, which is an instant fail, actually. But you do have a model. There is a flat Earth model. As soon as you say the Earth is flat, you have a model.
Well, he did say that he might have like a snow globe model.
Yeah, and he has made claims before. Nathan has specifically said that the Earth, or that the sun and moon do circles around the North Pole. Well, that's an expansion of the model that starts with it's flat, right? It's flat as a model. It's very crude, but it's still testable.
Yeah, and as soon as you start saying, well, then how come when we can't see China or whatever, it looks like it's coming down right here, then, they won't be able to address it. They will just go to, well, your model says this. It's so frustrating. But it's good for them. I mean, the leverage that they have to argue is pretty hard to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't understand science, we get it. So
anytime you start describing anything, really, you have a model already.
Yeah.
But it seems like they don't like to describe things. They just like to kind of go at, well, this doesn't make sense about your model. So it's just basically, it doesn't seem to make sense to me, so therefore your model's wrong.
So get this. He says, I didn't get a link. I think I have your lame ass blocked on my email.
Oh.
So Nathan blocked my email.
I'll send it.
And is saying, have you send it. So
So
I at least have his old email. I don't know about the new, if he's changed it or not.
So,
Mike,
all right.
you go ahead.
So somebody was asking both of you, what is your higher level education in more specifically in the hard sciences?
None at all.
I'm studying molecular cellular developmental biology. So not too relevant to the
you'd get a good deal of chemistry and a bit less physics, right?
Yeah, but still physics. I had to take physics and basic understanding of how science and modeling works.
Yeah.
Which they don't understand the very basics of.
Yeah.
Or they selectively understand it. When it's
as
convenient.
long as it's not gravity or something.
Yeah.
They pick and choose the physical laws that they want to talk about.
It's exactly like any of the pseudoscientists. They all love the second law of thermodynamics, and none of them understand it.
No, none can actually state the second law of thermodynamics. It's funny. I was watching somebody today who was trying to talk about it. And all he did, he's like gonna go into it, and then he diverted himself, like, oh crap, I don't know it, and went right into the mantra, the flat earth mantra, that you can't have pressure without a container. So
yeah, I wanted to talk about that, but you can't really keep them on topic.
No,
you can't. That was so frustrating.
Yeah, the thing is, no topics can be examined deeply, so they gotta stick it. They gotta stick with meme deep topics.
Yeah. So his explanation of how the sun affects the atmosphere is the sun affects the atmosphere.
Nathan and Austin.
They're still a thing.
What up?
Somehow, I don't know. But we've got Nathan. Nathan here, or Nathan and Austin, as it says, still on his
new hat.
I'm fixing.
Go get that old hat. That was cool.
Let's see, where did that go? Zoom 3. There. That's where it is. Nathan, can you hear us? Oh, nope. It went away.
Yeah, I hear you guys.
Oh, there.
Oh, there he is.
Does the video not work? Or is it just you're still working on it?
You want to see me that bad, McTurn? Didn't you just stare at me for 2 hours and you want to look at me some more?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
That's
kind of weird.
It's more entertaining to see the sadness on your face when we lay down some science on you. But whatever. If you can't, you can't.
Yeah, there's sadness on my face while your fat ass sits on a Friday night talking about me and takes videos of me on your thumbnail, bro. Yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah. Anyway,
you're crushing, McToon. You're just crushing it right now, bro.
Oh,
science doesn't prove things, right?
That's correct. It does not prove things.
Science doesn't prove things, right, McToon?
I just said that.
But I don't understand science, right?
Correct. You also don't understand science. Well, I'm glad we have that cleared up. You can let you know, you can do science without experimentation. You can do experimentation without cause and effect being established. You can use the scientific method to establish scientific laws.
Is the purpose of science to prove things or not?
Sorry,
No.
you cut up a little bit.
Is the purpose of science to prove something or disprove something or no?
Well, I already said
Does
science.
Science prove things?
I already said science does not prove things. We don't need to repeat that again, do we? Apparently we do.
He might be killing flies or chopping open wine bottles with a machete again.
Could be.
Or doing both at once.
Ooh.
Could be
Chopping
opening
the fly with the swing.
with a machete. Could
Yeah.
be opening a wine bottle with a fly.
Could be anything.
There's nothing he can't do.
The way forces
Yes.
work on a flat Earth, it could be anything.
All right, Nathan, are you there? Can you hear us? Oh, are you muted? Let's see.
He muted. He's
He's
muted
muted.
himself.
He's muted. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Oh, there it
Okay.
is. Ooh.
Now?
You're roboting out pretty hard.
Oh,
You're going a
I'm
little
sorry.
robot.
That was cool.
Go, Mo.
Snake's got out
Who's-
ready to go.
Whose was that? Was that you, Snake?
Oh yeah. I
Gotta
got
teach me how to
all
do
kinds
that.
of these. For sure.
I can do this all night long.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Nathan, you were asking, and well, we established that science does not prove things. It finds evidence for or against things. But there's always a possibility that the current understanding is incorrect and it can be improved upon. I don't know if you got that. How did he have good network the whole time on modern day, and then now he doesn't?
Well, I noticed he was moving around the house. He might be far, far away from his router or something.
Could be. Or yeah, Josh Jackson has a hypothesis
What is it?
that he's a bit inebriated, which is
Oh, yeah. Or, I mean, he was drinking something out of a bottle that he cut open.
oh, that's right, yeah.
He might be bleeding out.
Mhm.
Oh, I know.
Do you need help, Nathan?
Yeah.
Blink twice.
Yeah. Turn on your camera and then blink once if you're dead.
Actually, more Geo. Wag your tail if you need help.
Wag your tail.
Geo's his dog.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, poor dog. He tries to feed his dog a vegan diet
Ooh.
to a non-vegetarian animal.
What is that? Some sort of flat Earth conspiracy as well?
No, it's a vegan thing.
Is he a vegan?
Yeah. Well, not a great vegan. He drinks mead, which is from bees, which if the vegans I've spoken to say no, that's not vegan. And he kills flies. Come on. You can't kill
Oh.
flies.
Golly. Special place in hell for those people.
Yeah. I mean, I got no problem killing flies, but I think a vegan killing flies.
I think you'd be interested in this. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but he brought up a verse that said something like, rejoice when you are persecuted. And that just makes me
Well, yeah, but there's a
sad.
couple words right after that.
Well, like what's your take on that?
For the Lord? I think it's the when you're persecuted for a specific reason, for
Right, I
your
mean-
for your religious faith in God, not
Is that-
for your religious faith in the flat Earth.
Yeah, I mean, do you really think that Paul or whoever Jesus went around converting people to the flat Earth? I mean, there's just no evidence of that. I mean, they were so.
It's not there.
I mean,
Nope.
it just seems like there's just. Is that what the Bible's about? You just take a verse and to apply it whatever you want, or does it actually mean something?
To be honest,
I really don't like them bringing the Bible into these things.
oh yeah,
that really
everybody
hurts my feelings.
Everybody has their own interpretation of the Bible too, right? That's why there's different
Hey guys,
denominations.
wouldn't you have to prove there's like a massive? Wouldn't you have to prove there's a massive globe conspiracy in order to like have missionaries 2,000 years ago walking around converting people to flat Earth? And also, McTune, it's not a flat Earth religion because I don't want to be a flat Earther. I don't believe in the flat
Nate,
Earth. I've just
you-
sections. The floor doesn't curve. So
Nate, do you really think that Jesus and Paul were going around talking about the flat Earth? Was that
no,
the
they
gospel?
didn't need to, because everyone back then knew the Earth was the center of the universe. Everyone knew God was real.
But not
They
everyone
didn't
knew
have
that. You
fucking
just lied.
atheists back then, or they
Nathan,
had Satanists.
you just
like
lied, Nathan.
Snake. Like,
Oh, he's still going.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Are you in the bathroom, or can you
Yeah,
get
go-
to a better Wi-Fi spot?
Yeah, go in that other room.
Why?
Put that hat on. It amplifies the 5G signal.
They also used to know that the wind was a literal spirit and that your breath was your actual spirit. And if you sneezed, you had a demon.
Yeah. They also thought the flat Earth ancient cultures thought that the sun went through portals under the ground at night, because they didn't realize that daytime for them it was nighttime for somebody else, and vice versa. So
Well, that I do believe.
what? That day.
The sun portal theory, that's real.
Snake, don't say that. People are gonna take you serious.
Yes. Flat
Sorry.
Earthers have no sarcasm identification.
Bruh.
But this is part of the thing I'm talking about, Nathan. Like, it's inconsistent. You can't just take that one thing and say they believe that, so it's right. But then reject the portal thing and the spirit thing and the okay, bye.
Oh, we
Good
left.
talk.
I can do whatever I want.
Now Austin Whitsitt is his ex best friend. They had a bit of a bromance going. Austin said something quite accurate.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
Sometimes they get it right.
So do you have a hierarchy, Mike, of like who's Flurf Lord and then who's like their underlings?
Oh yeah, everybody almost everybody has a Papa Flurf. Right?
But who's the Flurf? Who's the Flurf Godfather? Is that my guy over here?
Samuel Robotham is the.
Is he around still?
No, he was in England in the late 1800s. He was a snake oil salesman. So Snake, he was selling oil from your kin.
It's offensive.
And let's see. Oh, hold on a second. Somebody said to check. Yeah. I saw that Angel Gamer. And Nathan. All right. So Nathan got a super chat during the debate. It says, Nathan, call me bro. We should get back together. It was from Witsit Gets It. But Nathan said that was probably a fake account. So
He's back.
ooh, he's back.
Well,
This is where the fun begins.
he was back last time too.
Yeah. Are you back for good, Nathan? Or back for evil? He's back for evil. His video is there for a second. All right. I see that you're unmuted now, Nathan. Can you? Nothing?
He might be trying to speak, but we can't hear anything.
Oh, there.
Because he was... Nathan, your
Yeah, I
audio is like
hear
really
you.
slow and
You guys are
robot.
Talking.
There we go. That
Okay,
might be
sounds
better.
better now. Yeah.
So, Nathan, Witsit Gets It did that super chat. You think that wasn't actually him?
It said Austin Whitsitt, I think, on the super chat, right?
No, it said Witsit Gets It. It even had the new purple logo that he changed it to, I think. I only know it's purple because somebody else mentioned that as purple because I'm colorblind. It's
Well,
blue to
click
me.
on it.
You
If
can't.
if you click on it and it's not his channel.
You can't anymore. Facebook or YouTube took that away at least a year ago.
Yeah, I'm sure Austin fucking bitched at me in fucking emails for 3 months. And then now all of a sudden had a change of heart and decided to tell me in a modern day debate comment section. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I'm with you. I think that sounds a little suspicious. But
Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
it was good
So
comedy.
next topic, please.
All right, so you were talking about proof. And you were asking, and we had established that science does not prove things. And so
We didn't establish that. You said that it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So there's no science that proves the globe, right?
science does not prove anything. So you don't need to get any more
Because science
specific than
doesn't
that.
prove things.
Correct. And scientists will tell you that. The people
So
that
science
actually
has
do
not
science.
proven Earth's a globe.
The Earth is a globe. That's a fact. a fact of science, but it's not proof, because that's not what science does.
You can have knowledge without certainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about
Did you
science
say-
is it always leaves a little bit of room to change our minds.
Yeah.
If new knowledge comes along. That's why science is
Did
superior
you say
to
science
dogma.
proves Earth's a globe, McToon?
I said Earth is a globe. That's a fact. That's what I said.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So scientists. What'd you say about scientists?
Scientists say that science does not prove things.
Oh, okay. So what's the purpose of doing science?
To get evidence for or against things. And when you have a large amount of evidence, when you have a large amount of evidence for something, then you have reduced your uncertainty on that topic. But the door is always open.
Oh, great. Okay. So what's the best evidence?
What's the best evidence?
All right. So without like a laundry list, just one.
Yeah.
What's the best evidence the Earth rotates?
The measurements of the rotation of the Earth using instruments that are specifically designed to measure rotation. For example,
I said science that proves the Earth rotates, and you said instruments? Instruments are man-made.
Yes,
not
exactly.
science. No, not
you're saying
science
that
at all.
you cannot,
Science is cause and effect.
Wait, no, it's actually not. But you're saying that you cannot use instruments in science?
Yes, that's actually what you're doing when you do science.
That's new. You can't use an instrument to do so. You can't use a tape measure to measure something in science because that's man-made. Is that what you're saying?
That's not measuring something isn't cause and effect. It's not science at all.
Well,
so
cause and
taking a
effect
measurement is taking a measurement.
Cause and effect is not the
science.
only part of science. There's more to science than just cause and effect.
So what do you call what you're doing when you're
what is
at the rivers
what's
and lakes
the more?
and stuff?
What's the what?
Those are called observations. That's not science at all. Science is cause and effect relationships. It deals strictly with cause and effect relationships.
Well,
so,
give me a citation of scientists saying the only thing you can do in science is cause and effect. The only thing. You got that?
The scientific method. It doesn't matter what
just
scientists
send
say. The scientific
just send the citation.
Method.
Just send the citation for that.
The scientific method.
Send the citation for
is
that.
to test the cause of an effect.
No, it's not.
Okay,
actually.
I can. No problem. The scientific.
It's not actually.
You don't.
Just
the scientific method is to test the cause of an effect.
No, it's not. That's not the only thing.
Oh, really? What
do.
else is it?
There's a broad thing, broad things that you can do in science. You can do just observations and
vague.
have it be science.
That was
right?
fucking.
So you have to have something.
You're gonna repeat yourself again?
Yeah, shush. So you have a hypothesis, and then you test that hypothesis. It doesn't have to be strictly cause and effect, but you do need to be able to test your hypothesis.
Does it really matter what we categorize our observations as? Because, I mean, I agree with MC Toon, but I think we waste a lot of time arguing over the definitions of labels.
It matters greatly because he is scientifically illiterate. It matters greatly because he is scientifically illiterate.
Well, I'll just, unlike you, Nathan, I can provide a citation. Right? I asked you for citation and you gave me nothing. Right?
That guy started talking definitions from Oxford languages, a method or procedure characterized natural science since the 17th century, consisting in systematic observation, measurement, and experiment.
Oh, there you go. A list including observation and measurement. Yeah. So all of them. There you go. Perfect. Thank you for supporting
measurement,
my point.
and experiment.
Thank you for
my point before I was interrupted was that we can still describe these concepts. We don't even have to call it science. An observation is valuable, whether you call it science or not. It doesn't really matter. Observations are still valuable things to have, still valuable evidence. Am I wrong?
He thinks you're wrong.
The scientific method is an empirical method. Empirical.
He just
so
goes back to
not what McToon says.
empirical would be
McToon
measuring
says
things.
not proving things.
Empirical
It's
is
an
measuring
empirical
things.
method of acquiring knowledge. No, it's more than that. No, just measuring something isn't science, retard.
Sure
It's
it is.
observation, measurement, and
Oh, so yes, you just
Sure, it's
disproved
not,
yourself there.
retard.
You said it's in the list.
So measuring your dick is doing science.
If
Measuring
you have a
your dick is
hypothesis,
doing science. Is that how fucking dumb you are?
I wouldn't do that. But
A hypothesis is
okay,
a
here
cause.
you go.
Give me a hypothesis
Here
for
is-
measuring something. What's the hypothesis for measuring something?
You don't need a hypothesis to measure something, Nathan.
You
Are
don't
Nathan is-
need a hypothesis. It says the scientific method is for observation, measurement, experiment for formulation, testing, and modification of hypotheses.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
so
the whole fucking point,
so Nathan-
you numpty dipshit.
Oh, yeah, you're just quoting QE, who gets it all wrong. So right here we have understanding science from
No, I'm reading
Berkeley.
from Oxford Languages.
Yeah, just
I'm
a
reading
dictionary.
from
So I have a
Oxford Languages.
website.
QE is nowhere
I have
around.
yeah, but you quoted him.
You asked for a citation.
You
I
quoted
gave it to
him.
you.
You
You're an
quoted
idiot.
him. So right here
No, I
we're looking
didn't.
at. Yes, you did.
That's from Oxford.
No, it was different. Two different words.
Well, maybe
that you,
he said
that
it
you
too,
quoted.
but
No,
that doesn't mean I quoted him. I'm reading from Oxford Languages,
No,
you
Nathan.
numpty clown show, and you're like, you
There you
quoted
go. You
QE.
quoted. You quoted
no, bro,
him again.
I
There.
quoted
You just quoted him again.
Oxford Languages.
See, he's
You're
the
such
one
a
that
goober.
says numpty followed by other words. That's you quoting QE. So
Oh,
right
yeah,
here,
he
this is
invented the
from
word.
Berkeley.
Yeah, he invented the word.
It's
What's
the
a numpty?
It's the combination of words that he's chosen. So right here, Oxford University, right? How science works. Right here, scientific method, too simple. Nathan, too simple. This is university level. This isn't middle school. This isn't a dictionary, which is meant to give very terse descriptions of things. This is a long and drawn out, well-written, complete description of science at a university level. Now, I know you probably haven't read university level topics before, but this one is a very good one. I know you probably won't look at it, but I'll email it to you later. The real process of science here, the second
It's
part
called
of it.
gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's called gaslighting,
I'm-
guys, just so you know.
I'm
He's
just-
gaslighting.
I'm actually
He's not
just
giving proof.
mocking you.
Oxford
but anyway.
Language is the world's leading dictionary publisher.
I'm not looking at a
Oxford
dictionary
Language
definition.
is the
there.
world's leading dictionary
Yeah,
publisher
yeah.
with
But-
over 150 years of experience creating and delivering
Okay.
authoritative
The problem,
dictionaries.
Nathan,
So
is
Berkeley
but yeah,
wrote
of course,
this
yours is
just
probably
to
a better one.
gaslight you?
There's no problem. The problem is whatever you're going to say completely contradicts what I just read from the number one leading dictionary publisher. So
Yeah, but-
you're a
but
numpty
your-
dipshit. You believe dumb
but-
stuff that
but
doesn't
your
exist.
list, Nathan, your list said observation is one of the things
but
that is
nothing.
included
You're
in science.
Scientifically illiterate.
No, your own definition
Measurement
says
and experiment.
yeah,
but
it's a
the
list.
entire thing.
It's a list.
Experiment. You have to have.
No,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
stop there, dumbass. It's a method. It's a method.
All right, tell you what.
So it is a
Tell you what.
scientific method, dumbass.
Go-
For you
go
to say
to-
it's not a method.
use
when
that
it's
same-
literally titled the
Nathan,
scientific method.
use
You
that
have
same
an
dictionary.
audience? People listen to you.
Nathan,
People
use that.
listen to you.
use
You're
that
over here
same-
saying it's
Nathan,
not a method, and
Nathan,
it's called the scientific
Nathan,
method.
Nathan,
You're
use that
a
same
retard.
dictionary that you touted so highly. Use that same
You're a
dictionary.
retard.
Are you ready? Use that same
Yeah, I'm
dictionary.
looking right at
You're
it.
a tune.
Look up Earth.
You're a goofball.
Look up Earth in that same dictionary. You're the one
good
that
point.
that is appealing to the authority of that dictionary.
Okay, cool.
Good point.
Go ahead, look up Earth in that dictionary. Are you going to accept it now?
I gave you the dictionary
Are you
word. I
gonna-
could give you
are
20.
you gonna-
I could
are you
give you
going to
20
ex-
dictionaries.
Are you going
I
to
could give you
accept that
20
dictionary's
definitions for the
authority
scientific
now?
method.
Nathan,
They're all the same.
Nathan, are you going to accept that
I
dictionary's
could, dude.
authority
You're
now?
gaslighting and you're straw manning.
No, I'm sorry, Nathan. You're the one that said that dictionary is
Dude,
the
obviously
authoritative
there is a
source.
massive conspiracy.
So,
You're a
Nathan,
fucking numpty, dude.
Nathan, what does
Oh, wow.
what does
So
that
everything it says
dictionary
is true.
say? That's what you have
So everything
said.
it says is true.
That's what you have said. So Nathan, look up the definition
didn't
for
say that.
Earth.
I didn't
what?
say that.
Oh, what?
I said
what
it's
did
the
you?
number one.
The number one.
You
Okay,
look
so
it up.
you're going to use it for certain things
Dork.
and not others. What do we call that?
Go ahead.
Cherry picking.
Cherry.
I got a couple questions.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Nathan, so I'm not trying to like gotcha or anything, but it seems to me like you didn't do an experiment to figure out the Earth was flat. You just have the observation. You see flat, and the Earth is flat. Would you call that science?
Definitely not.
Okay. So my
Now
other
you're getting
question.
it. So you have
now
no
you're
science.
fucking getting it. Holy shit.
So you have no
Holy
science. Got
crap.
it.
Did you just get it? Did it
Nathan.
just-
Nathan
did
has
some-
no
did
science.
something just click. You admit you don't have any science to
So
prove
it's
the
not-
Earth is a globe. You say science doesn't prove things, dumbass.
Correct. So do all
So-
scientists.
You
I'm
have
just
no
getting your
science.
perspective.
We both have no science. Congratulations, but I have observations.
So have you ever
I have observations.
have
like
you
the
ever
Chicago
been
skyline, like Bar des Crans, like seeing Chicago from Kenosha, like seeing the other side of the Salton Sea from one side, 17 miles
but
away.
no science.
It should be 180 feet of drop, vertical
But
drop.
what was? But no science though.
No, just observation.
Yeah, no
Science
science.
deals strictly with cause and effect.
No, it doesn't.
Mixin.
You're lying
Yeah,
again.
it deals strictly with cause.
Why
and
do you
effect,
have
which
to
is
be a
exactly
fake Christian
why
and
I-
lie so much, Nathan?
You're lying again. Okay.
Why are you such a fake
Okay.
that you have to
give me
lie
science that doesn't involve cause and effect.
constantly? Well, I was
Nathan,
trying to
have-
cover it,
Give me
but
an
you
example.
wouldn't let me. You wouldn't
You
let me
haven't
go
proven
over
that.
it.
You haven't proven that. You just said it.
have you
You
ever
just said it.
have you ever taken
ahead.
a
Go ahead.
chemistry lab like in high school?
McToon, I'm waiting for you to prove I lied. Go ahead.
You claimed that science proves things. That's a lie. Got to lie to Flurf. It is the
That's
foundation.
the purpose of science.
It is the foundation of your religion, Nathan. Your flat Earth religion is lying. That's its foundation. It's what you're all about.
Nathan, have you ever taken a chemistry lab in
You're
high school?
projecting right now. Cool story.
Did
Yeah, I was in chemistry.
okay, so like you did some things where you maybe mixed some chemicals and then you measured the mass of what was left, something like that. Was that science?
And that proves Earth a globe or
Well,
something.
we're
Like,
talking about
It's a different
was that
topic.
science?
science.
Was that science?
I'll repeat for the 10th time. Okay.
Well, that wasn't my
For
question
the 10th
though.
time. Okay. Science.
But I asked a different
deals
question.
I know, and I'm answering your question.
You're answering
I
the
know.
question
No,
you
didn't.
wish I
Yeah,
asked.
it's the same question. You just rephrased it because you're a fucking idiot. Okay, so listen.
Well, no, I'm
Can I answer
asking
now, or
if
you want to keep talking?
I'm asking. Well, you're not answering my question.
Okay.
So I'm trying to clarify.
You didn't even let me answer, and you're like, you're not answering my question. So go ahead and ask your question again.
Yeah, is the thing that you are the measurements you did in chemistry class science? I'm not asking what is science. I'm asking were those measurements science?
If you knew what science is, because science deals strictly with the cause of an effect, that you have an independent and dependent variable in your hypothesis that you test with rigorous experiment. Now, the shape of something, like, is this orange round? That's not science. So the Earth, is it curving in all directions? Definitely not science, which is why I asked McToon, do you have any science demonstrating the Earth moves? And so no cause and effect, simply we can look at a device and it tells us that we're spinning.
You
Cool
didn't answer
story.
the question. So go ahead, ask the question again.
Clowns, dude.
Go ask the question again, and let's hear him deflect.
Yeah, I
again.
did.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I asked
Okay,
if
chemistry
the
labs,
measurements
when you're in a
that you
lab, okay,
did-
you're not
Uh-huh.
testing causes of effects in nature.
So when you measured things in chemistry,
Measuring
was not
something
science.
isn't science. It's a measurement.
last question on this. If I catalog the existence
No,
of
it's called a measurement.
species, if I catalog the existence, the observation of a new species, is that science?
Looking at something is not science. No, you need to experiment.
So
That's the most
describing
important part.
features.
Testing
So-
your
so just-
hypothesis.
So describing features of things that you find, like fossils or species, categorizing their features, that's not science. Okay. I think we understand.
Definitely not.
Where you're.
Are you getting it? You can't test the cause and effect of dead bones in the ground, bro.
This
paleontology,
you can look at 'em.
chemistry, these aren't science.
What he's done is he has redefined science to exclude absolutely
All
everything.
fake,
Everything is not science
real
now.
science.
So he doesn't.
Astronomy, you're just looking at the sky.
He has boldly declared that nothing is science anymore. But funnily enough, published in Scientific American, people certainly thought it was scientific, a measurement of the rotation of the Earth. Right here, an apparatus for measuring Earth's speed of rotation. You see that? Right there. Isn't that wonderful?
So,
in
what's
scientific,
the independent and dependent variables?
there are none.
Yo, what about
That's
the
not
ether?
necessary. That's
There
not
are
necessary.
none.
Because
there are none.
an
Well, then you're not doing
independent.
science, bro. You don't have a hypothesis.
But
to test.
Nathan, that's only for middle
But
school
McToon.
science fair projects.
No,
that's
natural
not
science.
actual scientists. Well, then give me a citation.
That's
Give me a
natural.
citation
Okay, what was
that
the-
says that
what was
at
the-
a university or higher level that says you must have an independent and dependent variable for every science, for everything in science. Go ahead, give me the citation. I'll wait. Bring forth the citation, Nathan.
I don't have it.
Of course you don't. There is
so if you're gonna be like,
none.
oh, Nathan doesn't
Nathan,
have it at his fingertips.
There is
Yeah,
none.
okay.
That's why you don't have it. There is
Nathan-
no actual scientist that says that you
All right.
only can do independent
Who
and
cares
dependent
what
variables.
scientists say?
You do?
Everybody in
Here's what
science.
scientists say.
Everybody in
Scientists.
science.
You understand?
Scientists.
Nathan Nathan cares.
Okay.
Scientists care.
What people say doesn't matter. It's what you can
Okay,
test.
here's the
You
deal.
understand that?
So
If
you
we're
all that
saying
matters.
what we're doing is science, then that's how the word is used.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've excluded paleontology and chemistry from the fields of science. At least, including a lot more. Those were
but,
just a
yeah,
couple
he's
of examples.
excluded everything.
I mean, it appears to me
There
that
is
you just
nothing
that-
left in science after he's redefined it.
No. I didn't exclude chemistry. You
Yes,
can
you did.
still do science.
You
and
did
chemistry.
earlier.
You said
You did.
when, guys, you guys said, go back and watch the video. You said when you took a measurement in chemistry class, were you doing science? Now, I don't know if you guys are retards, but that's not science. And go back and listen. That's what you said.
Here's the deal. I'll break it down for this then Nathan.
It is
What
yeah,
you
okay,
have
yeah.
defined is something else, right? So the scientists of the world have defined something that they call science, and what they call science doesn't require an independent variable, dependent variable, doesn't require cause and effect to do an experiment. Now, what
That's
you
a
have
bandwagon fallacy.
what you have defined as science
Oh, that's a bandwagon
is
fallacy, and you
different.
know it.
No, it's not a bandwagon
That's a
fallacy.
bandwagon. What you have
the
is a bandwagon
people,
fallacy.
Nathan, shush. The
What you
people
have is
that
called a
are
all the
scientists
say
have agreed
that's
on a
literally
definition.
A bandwagon fallacy.
Nathan,
That's
no.
the definition of a bandwagon
That
fallacy.
is not. The people that are scientists have agreed
Nope.
together what is science. You have defined something that is outside of what they have defined, and you have double used that same word incorrectly. You should give it a different name. At least Robotham had the courage to call it something else. He called it zeticism. Maybe you want to use that because what you're talking about isn't the same, but it's kind of similar. Maybe you could come up with your own name, but it's not science. So scientists do science, and the process of science
here from
is
a
well
scientist.
explored.
A scientist, McToon.
It's going to be cherry picked.
right,
I
let me
bet
know
it's
when you're
one
done.
sentence. So
You're just
send
repeating
me
yourself.
send me the link. Send me the link. You can put it in the chat.
Hold on, dude. You literally just said every scientist claims this, and I'm about to give you a link.
Put it right in the link.
A
Yep, let's see
direct
it.
quote.
Plenty of time.
Yep, give us the
Okay,
link to it.
McToon, can you shut up? I'm gonna read it.
No, put it in the link.
says,
No, Nathan.
Natural.
No, Nathan. Nathan.
No.
I want the link because this is going to be an out of context cherry pick. That's what it's going to be. So you send me the link, and you won't send me the link because you're scared, because you know that if we look at the context, it will contradict what you are claiming.
Nathan, is anatomy science?
There's no cause and effect. There's no IVDV in it, right?
I just want to hear it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, come on, Nathan. let's hear. Is anatomy science?
Does he know he's muted?
Well, I've asked him to unmute, so he should know. We'll tell you what. I'll read a couple super chats here while he's figuring out how to send his citation in the chat. Saeed Ahmed says snake handled water's level within 5 minutes. It was brilliant. I felt like Word of the Wild Jedi mind tricked Nathan.
Hey, McToon.
Well done, gentlemen.
Hey, McToon. Hey, read your
Okay.
super chats when I'm done saying you're a
send the
fucking
chat.
clown show. Have a good night. Later,
send
bitch.
it. Send it the chat.
Have a
Chicken.
good night.
Come on,
Natural
chicken.
sciences.
But don't leave.
Come on,
are
chicken.
the
Come on, chicken.
sciences that seek
Come on,
to
chicken.
explain
Come
the
on,
rules
chicken.
that govern
Come on,
the
chicken. Hey,
natural
why are you
so
running
much
away?
left to teach
What's your
me.
citation?
Look at you,
Hey,
bro.
what's
Look
the
what a
citation?
coward you are.
Send
What
me
a
the
coward.
citation.
What a
I'll put it on
crybaby.
the screen.
The
Send me the
natural
citation.
sciences-
Hey, Nathan.
sciences are
Send
the
me the
ones that
citation. I'll put
seek
it on
to
the screen.
explain the rules.
Send
Look
me
at
the
you
citation.
trolls.
I'll put it
Look
on
at
the
you
screen.
Triggered fucking clown.
Send me the
Look at you
citation. I'll put
triggered
it on the
bitches.
screen.
Send me the citation.
Send me the citation. I'll put it on the screen. So that you can't cherry pick it, Nathan.
Hey, maybe if you say it 10 more times. Maybe you say it 10 more times, I'll send it. Dumbass.
I'll put it on the screen.
natural sciences are
I'll
the
put it on the
sciences
screen. Hey, Nathan.
that seek
I'll
to
put it on the
explain
screen.
the rules
Hey,
that
Nathan.
govern
Hey,
the
Nathan.
natural world.
Yeah, come on.
scientific
Send the citation on the
methods.
screen. Come on, I'll put it on the screen, Nathan.
Cornerstone
Come on,
of
Nathan.
which science
Come on,
is
Nathan.
the natural
Send the
sciences.
citation.
I'm
Are
in
you
the middle of
scared?
talking.
Are you
Say it 10
scared
more
because you're
times.
cherry picking?
Say it 10 more times.
Are you cherry picking,
No,
Nathan?
you can look it up. Natural.
Is that-
It's
send it.
sciencedirect.com.
Send it this in the chat here so we can put it up on the screen.
Dude.
Everybody can have a look.
Go
We
ahead
want to
and
know
type
if
Come
we're
on.
wrong.
We want to see it, Nathan. Send
Nathan,
it.
You
Go
wouldn't want us
ahead.
to. You
When you-
wouldn't
let me
want
know
us
when
to
you guys are
cherry pick.
done.
You wouldn't want us to cherry pick your stuff.
Let me know when you guys are done.
Tell you what. How about this?
when you're done,
Here's
guys.
what you get when you cherry pick.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
That was cherry picked. Do you think that's appropriate?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
true,
that's-
but is that how it should be done? Is that how science is done?
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
Proof. No, that's not how
It's cherry
it
picked.
works.
So send me the link, Nathan.
What-
Send me the
yeah,
link.
well, it's not hard to send the link.
It's right there.
You
Just
wouldn't,
right in the
you
chat.
wouldn't want us to do that to you. Give us the same courtesy you'd ask of us.
That's got his tongue.
Hey, McToon.
Come on,
Can you hear me?
Send the link. Send the
Can
link.
you hear me?
Yeah, send
We
the
can
link.
hear you.
Say it again.
Se-
Say send me a link again like a robot, like a fucking retard for your
se-
audience.
send the
Pretend this
link.
is good content.
Come on, Nathan, send the
Pretend
link.
this is good
Are
content.
you scared because you're cherry
Pretend this
picking?
is good content.
Nathan, are you scared because you're
Are
cherry
you a
picking?
faggot?
Are you
Are
scared?
you a bitch?
Nathan, is there
Are
a
you a
reason you
crybaby?
don't want to send the link?
Well, why are you scared to send the
I
link?
will send the link.
Oh,
You
we'll send it. Go
fucking
ahead.
faggots won't
I'll-
shut the fuck up.
I'll put it on the
Okay,
screen.
so let me
I'll
know
put
when
it on
you're
the
done.
screen
Let
so
him-
people can read
let him
along
do it.
while you read
When you're
it.
done,
Send the link. Go ahead.
I'll just
me
Google
too.
what he reads.
lick my balls. Lick
Yeah.
my balls.
Nobody wants to.
Yeah, you can look it up. I already told
Nobody
you about
wants to-
that.
I mean-
I already told you the website.
I mean,
too.
even
you guys are fucking
even Gia won't do that.
Send the link. Send me the link. Send me the link.
Wow, so triggered.
Send me the link.
Did he said he
Send me the
put
link. You're
the,
triggered,
in
bro.
great
You wouldn't let me
pain.
read a
he
sentence.
put it
You're
somewhere
a fucking
actually,
clown,
or-
dude.
No,
he said he was going to, but he hasn't yet.
well, he lies.
ScienceDirect.com.
I'll
Topic.
try and find it.
Natural science. Try and find it, faggots. Natural science are
such
the
triggered.
sciences that seek to
Damn.
explain the rules that govern the natural world. So they seek to explain the rules. So definitely prove things, not
Oh,
prove
well.
Well, you
things.
can measure
So
things.
the natural world through
It
the
doesn't say proof,
science.
so thank
I
you for
know
that.
you wouldn't let me finish a sentence. I know I couldn't finish a
Just
sentence.
send
but
the link,
Let me
Nathan.
try again. The natural sciences are science. Oh,
I have it. I can
Send the
send the
link.
link.
Thank you.
just send the link.
Thank you. It's too hard for Nathan to do it, I guess.
Just send the link. Oh my! It's too hard for you to find a fucking link.
is there
I
a side
told you
chat?
the website for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
dumbass
you can
fucking
send it.
loser.
You can send it right in the chat there.
You fucking clown.
On the bottom of the screen, there's the little chat
So,
bubble there. Hold on, Nathan.
are
We're
you
gonna
guys
get it up.
ready?
Nate, no, I'm gonna get it up on the screen so people can look at it. So just a second there, Nathan.
Aha!
Hey, Nathan, is anatomy science?
Is anatomy cause and effect?
So I guess you're saying it's not a science.
Wow, you're getting it, Snake. You're fucking smarter than you look, dumb
Well-
Satan worshiper.
Oh man.
So, all right, number one, this is a cherry pick. It's
Yeah,
one
Cat, got
one
your tongue
paragraph out of a book. But all right, go
Dumb
ahead.
Satan prick.
Go ahead. So I'm waiting for where it says
Yeah,
proof. I'll just be
I'm
looking
going
for
to-
proof.
In order for you,
So,
can you tell everyone what a cherry pick is?
I'll read it again. The natural sciences are the sciences that seek to explain the rules that govern the natural world through scientific methods, the cornerstone of which are measured by quantitative data. They also attempt to provide mathematical, either deterministic or stochastic, models of natural processes. There are 5 branches of natural sciences, including astronomy, biology, chemistry, earth science, and physics. Over the course of the last 5 centuries or so, the natural sciences have been changing our lives and thinking ways at much greater pace than they had in an early period of human civilization. So your citation says that astronomy is a science. Thank you very much.
It also says math.
Excellent. So
And math and models are also
can I
included
talk
in there.
now?
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead. Now that you've completely
Let me know when
supported
you
our
guys are
point,
done.
you've completely supported our point, destroyed yours, go ahead.
Can I have one experiment, scientific experiment in the field of astronomy, please?
No, your citation already included astronomy in science. Your citation, not mine.
The citation also talks about scientific
All right.
models, which
Scientific
I think
models.
is
And I
not part of
asked-
science.
All right.
There you go. Awesome.
Can-
Thank you
when you guys
very
are
much.
done, let me know.
Thank you very much for this citation that includes astronomy as a science.
So, can you give me one experiment in the field of astronomy?
Yes, Eddington 1919
Laugh
is
it
an
up.
excellent one. Eddington 1919.
All right. What is the independent and dependent variable?
Doesn't matter. That is not science.
Doesn't
Science,
matter.
science does not start by saying, what's the independent and dependent variable?
And that wasn't in that article that you sent us.
That article doesn't say independent and dependent variables
You're-
are a necessity for
So do you
all
accept
science.
that
Guys.
article or not?
Guys, I asked for one experiment in the field of astronomy.
But it's
He
not
gave you
necessary.
An experiment is a hypothesis. An experiment is a hypothesis test.
Yes.
So a
So what if-
hypothesis includes an observation. God, why does everyone have to interrupt me? Like, why do you
I-
guys send me a link to just ask me questions and then interrupt me in the middle of me talking? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
we
outta
like
here,
to
dude.
laugh
There's
at
no
you. It's
reason
funny.
for this.
Did you
It's
notice how I
pointless.
stopped myself? I stopped
I'm
myself
laughing
because I
at you
realized you
too.
kept
The
talking.
feeling is mutual, McToon. You're like a 50-year-old fat ass pear. I've met you in person, bro. You waddle around like a goober, bro. Stand up. Show everyone your gut. Show everyone your fucking gut. Bro.
Ad homs when you
fat
lose.
ass loser, bro. No, you're a loser, bro. You're sitting fucking there Friday night talking about me drinking Dr. Pepper, having a live stream because I won't debate you anymore because you're a fucking loser, bro.
Dude, I destroy you so many
So-
times.
Yeah, you got
You-
tabs open.
So what
It's high
if
IQ research.
You think science doesn't prove things?
Yes,
You
it does.
destroy yourself.
That's
bro.
correct.
You-
It does not
you're-
prove things.
You're
Nathan.
scientifically illiterate.
No,
So
I,
if
I, go, I,
the-
cite,
Well,
I
then there's
quote
no point in doing it.
scientists.
if the Eddington experiment is just an observation, Nathan, is it worthless?
No, observations are
Okay,
great.
so
but it's
why are we
not
arguing
natural
about
science,
that?
So. Okay, because when you have an observation, you need the next step for the scientific method. It's a method of doing
It's a
things.
hypothesis.
It's not.
So the
Look at
observation.
It. Just look. McToon, stop interrupting me.
So
Trying to
the
have a conversation here with a
observation.
slithering snake
So the observation
is the first part.
will give us evidence.
Yeah, you're repeating yourself.
That's
no,
a question.
it's the first part of the scientific method.
Okay. So
Yeah, evidence.
can an observation demonstrate
evidence?
something? Can an observation demonstrate something?
Can you give an example where it does?
Well, it's a question. Do you not agree?
Okay, well, can you just show me where it does? Can you just show me where it does? And then we can agree. It does.
Well, I'm just asking what you think about it. Are you unsure?
Look at you, dude. Look at your eyes, bro. You are just fucking rolling, bro. Okay. If it doesn't, just show me.
He's got nothing.
Just show me.
Just this spiral
it's
of
just a
idiocy.
question.
It's so funny.
Like,
What do you mean? You're projecting again. I
think
asked
it
him for
does.
something, and
Oh
he
my
has
gosh.
nothing, and now you're projecting McToon for him. You're projecting for him and saying,
no,
look, he has nothing. I didn't even claim to have anything. I asked him, dude, what's your proof? And you're like, he has nothing. No, bro, that's the dumb look on your buddy's face. He has nothing.
So I think observations do demonstrate things. Do you agree or disagree, or are you unsure?
Yeah, if you observe me cooking in the kitchen, it demonstrates that I'm an excellent chef. Okay? Great. We can move on.
I mean, I think I would have to taste it first, but it does demonstrate that you are cooking something.
You can have a hypothesis
There
that
you go.
he's an
Fair
excellent
enough,
chef. And then you could taste what he made and then discover that the hypothesis was wrong. Right?
Natural sciences seek to explain the rules that govern the natural world. That's the part you're fucking misunderstanding there, McToon. Me doing things in my kitchen is not the natural world.
Of course it is. The
It's
natural
me
world is
doing things in
everything
my
that is
kitchen.
part of nature. The natural world
So-
is things that is not the supernatural world.
So yeah, you can't make a hypothesis about it. You can't make a hypothesis about me in my kitchen. And you just said you could, and anyone listening to you thinking you're smart is fucking retarded. I feel sorry for your audience. People who think you're smart, that's sad. It's super sad because you're like the opposite of smart.
Such triggered.
No, there's no triggered. You're triggered. You're projecting.
Yeah,
what are you going to say, but 10 times again?
From the Geological Society?
Ask me to share the link.
Geo
Ask me to
Society.
share the link 20 times
we
that
found
you
it.
could look
We
up
found it because you were
that
too
I
scared.
already gave you the website for.
We found it
gave
already
you the
because you were
website.
too scared.
I
It's
wasn't
right here.
scared. I
Yeah.
told you the
You
website.
were scared because it
I
would
told
say
you the website.
you wanted to stop reading before it said it included astronomy.
I told you the website.
No, just tell
I
us.
told everyone the website.
Send the link, Nathan. All right, so here is from the Geological Society, geosociety.org. There is no such thing as the scientific method. Scientists in different fields often approach their scientific testing in different ways. What do you think of that?
Cool. Mainstream
So-
science. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, really carefully. He asked me what I think about it, Snake. Can you actually just shut up for 30 seconds while I talk?
Can you believe how
Did you
triggered he is?
notice? Did you notice how I stopped and let you finish? That was a
Yeah, I
question.
understand, bro. I didn't mean to give you a hard time, dude. I didn't mean to give you a hard time,
Oh,
Snake.
yeah, you
all right?
do.
I apologize. All right.
It's
Everyone's
cool, man.
fucking hassling me here, bro. Give me a break. All right? All right, so hear me out. McToon.
I'm here. Yeah, go.
Yeah, okay. So, whatever you just read is really cool. I can read King Kong books and Narnia books and books about the Game of Thrones. That doesn't make it real. So, I'm going to ask you directly in front of your audience with your face right there in front of everyone. Okay?
Let's
Laugh
hear
it up.
Let's hear it.
I know you're triggered. Oh, don't worry. You're going to hear it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry. I was going to give it to you. So, McToon, have you tested Earth and proven it's a spinning globe? Personally.
Well, science doesn't prove things, but I have tested Earth and measured that it is spherical and that it cannot be flat.
McToon, we already went over how the shape of something is not science. All I asked, I didn't ask for science. Go back, rewind your video. I asked if you have proven the Earth is a spinning globe. Now, if you could, just tell me when you proved it.
I
You,
proved it.
yourself,
I
sitting there,
measured.
fat
I
ass
measured
there.
the radius of the Earth 4 times on the equinoxes and the solstices, and all of those times I also confirmed that the Earth could not be flat.
Okay, measure the radius of Earth. How much did you conclude the radius to be?
Just under 4,000 miles.
Okay, under 4,000
Yeah, just
to the
less.
center of the ball Earth.
Yes.
To the center. Great, excellent. And so, how did you do that?
I measured the angle of the sun at local solar noon on those 4 days. And other people at the same time, other people on the same day measured the angle to the sun. We used some trigonometry and got the radius of the Earth. It was quite basic. Now,
all right, so
it would require eighth grade math.
Okay, the angle of the sun from what?
From the location that I was at and the location of several other people.
Okay, so the angle of sun from different locations, just where the sun is from where you guys are?
The angle of the sun at local solar noon. And I did some trigonometry. I could walk through it if you want, but the trigonometry will be over your head.
No. Yeah, it's more gaslighting. Okay, I'm trying to understand this. And
you
so
can't.
Don't gaslight.
It's over your head.
Nathan.
Nathan, you can't understand trigonometry. You don't know how to solve a triangle, Nathan.
I've forgotten most of my trig too. Don't feel embarrassed.
McToon, triangles have straight lines, McToon. Are you saying you can triangulate the Earth?
I did some trigonometry using triangles, and all of the sides of the triangles were straight in the math that I did to measure the radius of the Earth.
Straight lines on the triangle. Okay, I'm writing this down. So what were the lines? What like, can you give me the lines, the 3 lines for the triangle?
So I'll put it on the screen here for you. Nathan, this is going to go over your head because it's math that you cannot handle.
No. That's more gaslighting. I asked you not to do that.
No, it's not gaslighting. Nathan, I know your math
was one of
ability.
The lines?
I know your mathematical ability.
Bro, you're gaslighting.
You cannot handle this math. It's past your head. It's over your head math.
I asked you a simple question, McToon.
Okay.
Simple question.
Simple
answer. What were the sides of the triangle you used?
Well, right here on the screen, we've got 3.07 meters is the length of the shadow. The height of the pole is 1.274 meters. We use the arctangent of the ratio of those two to give a 22.54 degrees to the angle of the sun. Right? Now, could you do that yourself, you think? Is this math something you can handle, Nathan? Or is this over your head, as I said that it was?
Yeah, of course.
This is over your head, Nathan.
Yeah. Are you familiar with who Neil deGrasse Tyson was? Because he said this could be done on a flat Earth, too, with a small, localized sun.
Oh, well, show the math.
Not assuming a ball Earth.
Present the math, then. Because here's the thing. I did that.
It's not my claim.
I did. Oh, well, you just made that claim, actually. So this could not work.
I told you Neil deGrasse Tyson says this works on a flat Earth.
Show the math for that then, Nathan. You can't. Because you don't understand what he was saying. Okay, well, because the math
why don't you go talk to him? Because he says this isn't a globe proof.
Nathan, the math is something that you do not comprehend. So here's the deal. I did not do it once. If I had only done it once, then that could potentially work on flat or globe. But when we did it 2 times and 3 times, then we can find out whether or not it works on all 3, whether it works on flat or not. So here's the deal. If it was flat, we did the math. Hold on. No. I'm going to explain it to you. You asked me to explain it to you. I'll explain it to you. Right? So here it is. Somebody at latitude 45.57 degrees.
No. I got it, bro. I got it. The radius of the Earth is 4,000. I got it. I don't need to explain it.
No, Nathan.
I got it.
Here's the deal. No, I'm explaining your Neil deGrasse Tyson claim, Nathan.
I got it, bro.
Nathan, I'm explaining your Neil deGrasse Tyson claim. Look at this.
No, I got it. The radius is 4,000.
But here's the deal,
4,000,
Nathan.
Right?
Here's the deal, Nathan.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, my bad. Neil's an idiot. I think he's an idiot. I don't like that guy anyways, bro. Okay, it's under 4,000. The radius is under 4,000 miles, right? That's what you got, bro. You're a scientist. You did the math, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's a really important super chat.
At 1 foot observer height, excellent. No, we're in the middle of something. Well, you can read them at the end, okay? So measured the radius of Earth. It's 4,000 miles. McToon, what that put the horizon at 1 foot observer height? How far away would the horizon be on a ball?
Okay, so that's a different
curving
topic.
in all directions.
That's a different topic. Would you like to change?
No,
would you
no,
like
no,
to
no, no.
This is a different topic.
Radius.
I'm
you
glad.
Said you proved the radius.
I'm glad to move on to a different topic.
You said you proved the radius.
I said I measured the radius, Nathan. Don't put words in my mouth. I measured the radius.
You said you proved the radius, bro.
I said I measured the radius.
Oh, okay,
Nathan.
you measured it.
There
cool,
you go.
Measured it.
Got
cool.
it.
It's under 4,000 miles, right?
Yeah.
The Earth has a ball.
My measurement was 6,471 meters or kilometers. So okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You were gonna.
So at 1 foot observer height, how far out would that put the horizon?
What's the lapse rate?
So do you accept his measurements or not?
He's trying to debunk it here. So
okay,
yeah.
Listen, guys.
I'm listening.
What do you mean? Accept some pictures of some fucking tape measures on the ground, like a picture of a tape measure on the ground, like 6 inches away from the tape measure.
Wait,
I'm measuring the shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excellent.
All right,
I got you, bro.
Go ahead.
What you're asking for?
I got you. Yeah, I can do it myself. So the radius, guys. Let me talk. Let me know when you're done. Great. So you measured it. The radius is under 4,000 miles. So on a ball, right? You have a freaking. You're looking out at the horizon. The horizon's that geometric edge of the Earth curving in all directions. How far out would that be?
What's the lapse rate? Do you have the lapse rate?
It's the lapse rate?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're at 1 foot observer height,
yes.
How far would you see the horizon?
Not enough information to give you a meaningful answer. What's the lapse rate? I would need the lapse rate to give you an approximation.
Okay, why is a lapse rate? Okay, why do you need the lapse rate?
Because it greatly changes the distance to the horizon at that low elevation. So all I need is the lapse rate. Do you have the lapse
so
rate?
The distance to the horizon can change?
Yeah, absolutely. Refraction.
Are you
does
saying
that.
the distance to the horizon?
Yeah, the refraction does that. Are you unaware that refraction? Are you unaware that refraction can make the what we see change? Wait a second. Let me just give you a little reminder.
I'm claiming that you haven't even actually accounted for all the variables, and you're touting your trigonometry that literally hand waves dismiss one of the most important variables when it comes to perception, which is refraction.
There we go. So if you don't take into account refraction, then I cannot give you a meaningful answer to your question. So do you have the lapse rate so that I can include refraction in my analysis?
Do you have the lapse rate for your shadow measurements?
Yes, I included that. So go ahead.
Oh,
Nathan.
really?
Yeah,
Let me see them.
The refraction raises distant objects very slightly if they're high in the sky. So it was actually smaller than my margin of error. It raised the apparent elevation of the sun by less than 1 arc minute. So again, it was smaller than my margin of error. So it didn't have a significant impact on it because it wasn't at a low elevation.
I didn't ask for the time or the time. I didn't ask for the sun. I asked for the shadow.
Yeah, when I was measuring the shadow,
I asked for the lapse rate of the shadow, not the sun.
There is no lapse rate of a shadow, Nathan. Do you not know what a lapse rate is?
Okay, why don't you educate me?
Okay, a lapse rate is a vertical
and your audience.
A vertical change. Well, my audience knows a vertical change in temperature.
Okay, so there was no temperature change between the ground, the surface of the ground where you measured the shadow, and whatever you were getting the shadow from? Are you serious?
Oh, there certainly was. Yeah.
Are you serious? It looked like black asphalt, dude. You were measuring black asphalt.
No,
yeah,
Nathan.
There certainly was. So let me get the lapse rate for it, you fucking retard.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There certainly was a difference in temperature. Certainly was a difference in vertical temperature. Yeah, you just admitted
and I included
it.
Nathan, I included it.
Was.
Nathan, like I said, I included it
shadow
already in the
You
analysis.
just said you didn't need to. You just said
no,
you
no,
didn't need to.
I said it was the error.
You said it was negligible.
Exactly. It was negligible. It was so small because the angle of the sun was over 20 degrees in the sky. The lapse rate for that, the effective refraction for that, is very, very low. It's less than 1 arc minute. So I included refraction in my analysis.
What's the lapse
you
rate?
did not include refraction in your analysis. My observation is very minutely affected.
You haven't shown me.
I showed you already. It was on screen.
My observation is minutely affected too.
But it's not. We can see
Mine's minutely affected too.
Oh, well, then show me the picture that has no effects of refraction from 1 foot high.
You can't do that either. You didn't even measurement. You just said it's negligible. You just said it doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't, Nathan.
Okay, I'll just say the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter.
But Nathan,
See how
we know
stupid you sound.
We know
I have to have it and you don't.
But
okay,
Nathan,
shut up.
At that elevation,
you see how dumb?
At 22 degrees,
Nathan,
at 22 degrees above
Nathan,
this, at 22 degrees. Oh my gosh, Nathan, you little infant. Nathan, at 22 degrees above.
Bro, but Nathan.
Dear Nathan. What a baby. I'll just say it. 22 degrees above elevation. The amount of refraction is very small. These are known. These are from tables that people have assembled for centuries. Right? The same people that assembled these same tables have also identified that at very low elevation, like the one that you want to talk about, over water, like the one you want to talk about, are heavily affected by refraction. So if you're not going to include refraction in your analysis, then your analysis has a drastically huge margin of error.
Oh yeah, but you don't have to include it because it's negligible.
I did include it, and it is very small for my particular observation. Your particular observation,
Brilliant.
it's very large because
stuff.
of the angle and the environmental conditions. So Nathan, do you have the lapse rate for your observation?
Okay, so triangulated. When you use triangles, did you assume straight lines?
All right, Nathan, we're on your measurement now.
I'm asking about your experiment, bro.
Okay, all of the sides of the triangle.
Bro.
I know you've never done any measurements.
Your test.
It's over your head.
You're taking your test, bro.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were the triangles, was one of the sides of the triangles the surface of the earth?
No.
No. Okay, so when you measured the shadow, it was 22 feet.
No.
That was on the floor, right?
Isn't that 22 feet?
No, the shadow wasn't on the ground.
The shadow was on the ground. Yes. It was 3 meters.
Okay, great. So the ground.
Yes.
And did you use that shadow to triangulate?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's on the ground. Yes. You're getting it. Yes. Excellent. So it's on the ground, and you used it to make a triangle, McToon. Do you understand triangles have straight lines?
Do you think that you can never use triangles in the real world because no actual measurement is perfectly flat side triangles? All it does is it introduces a margin of error. Do you not? You don't understand margin of error either, do you?
Oh, okay, so there's some error maybe possibly in your test.
There you go. You got it now.
So there could be some error.
Yeah,
Excellent. So you didn't prove anything.
All measurements have a margin of error. All of them.
So you didn't prove anything.
Like I said, science does not prove things, Nathan. This was science, and it was not proving things. It was measuring the angle to the sun and then measuring the distance to the radius of the Earth. Those are the two things that we measured.
Okay, with some potential errors, right?
All measurements have errors. Not potential, guaranteed errors. Yes. All measurements have errors all the time.
So like if I have a 3 foot long, so if I have a 3 foot long piece of wood and I measure it with a tape measure and it says that it's 3 feet.
Yes.
There's an error there.
Absolutely. And if you have a typical tape measure that has gradations at every 16th of an inch, the margin of error is 1/32 of an inch or more. Do you not know this, Nathan?
Right. You guys hearing this? You gotta
you got a 3-foot piece of wood and you measure it to be 3 feet, and there's definitely errors there. Just so you guys know, that's your high priest here, McToon, that you're listening to on station, dude.
Nathan, do you not know
good
this?
Stuff. It's good stuff.
Is this new to you?
No,
Nathan?
I definitely don't know it. It's dumb.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not new. It's just retarded.
That is sad for you, Nathan.
It's definitely stupid.
It's clear
when something is 3 feet.
How incredibly stupid you are, Nathan.
I know.
This is an absolute truth. You do not understand how measurements work, Nathan.
More gaslighting.
You just declared publicly that you don't understand measurements.
Now you're projecting, because you said when you measure a 3-foot piece of wood to be 3 feet, it's not 3 feet. There are definitely errors. Okay.
Absolutely. Nobody disagrees with that.
Nobody stick with that.
Except stupid people,
Actually,
I guess.
No, I disagree. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess
stupid people.
Yeah, more gaslighting.
Nathan, you are.
Stupid people disagree that 3-foot pieces of wood, when you measure them to be 3 feet, there's definitely errors. So only stupid people would think that. I mean,
you think there might be like maybe a couple, like maybe the ruler was cut off or painted like maybe a fraction of a centimeter off, or there's a few molecules off. You're always going to have a little bit of a deviation. You can only approximate to smaller and smaller margins of error, but there's always going to be a little bit
this is great.
that you can't account for, right?
So you can't take measurements that are accurate, but
the molecule, that'd be very difficult.
They can be accurate.
Do you guys serious?
But there's a margin of error.
You guys 20 minutes ago told me measurements are science, and now you're over here telling me measurements 100% of the time have flaws.
Yes.
Okay. You guys are fucking dumb, bro. You're just science deniers, dude.
And if you read any scientific publication,
I agree.
They all include a margin of error analysis.
Nope.
They always
Here we go
do.
with a bandwagon fallacy again, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, he's saying they always say what I'm saying. So basically, slavery is good because back in the day, we always thought
not at all, Nathan. That's
bro,
not it.
It's a band.
That's
called
here's what happened,
fallacy,
Nathan.
Ladies and gentlemen.
A group of people, scientists, agree together on how to do science. That's science. It's not a bandwagon. It's just how it is. You don't like it. Okay. Don't care. You don't think that's how it should be done. Don't care. What you've defined is not science, it's something else. Scientists understand that there's no such thing as a perfect measurement. Every measurement has a margin of error.
Yeah, it's not saying that there.
Do you understand, guys?
Errors.
Hold on, real quick. McToon, hold on. You guys understand how goofy he sounds? Saying, listen, he's saying
nothing is perfect.
You don't get it. I don't care. Saying you're just dumb. I don't care. McToon, you're literally doing a live stream about my debate. You've literally made tons of videos about me. I've had to block your email because you incessantly email me. Yet you get in front of your audience and say, Nathan's dumb.
Yes.
Nathan doesn't understand anything.
Correct.
Nathan, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Yes.
Yet you make videos about me, email me incessantly, comment on my Facebook post. You are a textbook troll, bro. Brilliant. Just say yes again.
So Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan,
sure.
do you? I just want to hear it one more time, Nathan. Do you not understand that measurements have margins of errors?
They could have a margin of error, but you said that they always have a margin of error, and then I asked you very clearly and concisely.
All measurements have a margin of error.
Are you going to let me finish?
I'm just agreeing with you. All measurements have a margin of error.
Not agreeing with me. I said what you said, McToon. You're not paying attention. Pay closer attention to what I'm actually saying. Okay. So you said all measurements have. Okay. Let me know when you're done interrupting me, McToon. I'll continue. You said all measurements have errors. Okay, so I said, well, if you have a 3-foot long piece of wood and you measure it to be 3 feet, is there an error there? And you said yes. So yes. I just want your audience to just know that McToon said, when you measure a 3 feet piece of wood to be 3 feet, there is definitely an error there. And that's just fucking dumb. I think that's my cue to leave. I don't know. You guys have anything else to say? Because
I really don't. I mean, Snake is cool. John, you're even cooler. I think John's gonna be a flat earther in like a week or two. But let me know if you guys got any closing arguments or anything. I'll just...
Oh, okay, bye.
Well, yeah. Oh, well. There you
You
go.
heard it here, folks.
There it is. The flat earther that is completely unaware that all measurements have a margin of error. And absolutely, oh, he doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on how wrong he is. Can you believe that?
I just didn't understand that line of questioning. But...
Yeah, so, all right. So you got a taste there of how backwards they have defined science.
It's all designed, or not necessarily consciously designed, but it ends up functioning so that you can just stall the conversation as much as possible. So you can't get into the details.
Yes.
And it's the same tactic that our good friend Kent Hovind uses. Like, mine's not science, yours isn't science. You know, I mean, so where does that leave us? I mean, we value truth, so we have to find some method to distinguish imagination from reality. The T-jump method.
The T-jump method?
Yeah, that's his little thing he always says. Distinguish imagination from reality. So
here, I'll share this with you guys too, so you can see it, and we'll go over exactly what Nathan was doing there. They do a combination of science, denialism, and pseudoscience. All right, you see that here? I'll even throw this in the chat for people. There it is. So they go hand in hand. And they have a nice chart here. I'll just go right down to it. Science follows evidence to a conclusion. Science denialism and pseudoscience both work backward from a desired conclusion. So what they do, they use science denial when they want to deny actual measurements and observations and experiments that the Earth is a sphere. And they use pseudoscience to support flatness. So here they have impossibly high standard of evidence is science denialism. So that right there would be there is no such thing as a margin of error, is impossibly high standard of evidence. And then on the other side, you have very low standard of evidence for pseudoscience. So he was trying to go to the 1 foot high. How far is the distance to the horizon at 1 foot high? And I wasn't falling for his trap because the observation that he has all of this extreme refraction in it. And their very low standard of evidence will allow aggressive refraction, where my measurement, where there is exceedingly small refraction, he has an impossibly high standard of evidence. They go hand in hand.
Good point.
All right. Well, you guys, I kind of took over a little bit there when he was on. What do you think?
It was beautiful.
It was. It's like an art.
It is a fine art, I think. All right, this super chat that came in from Snake was right that said that Snake is one handsome devil.
Oh my!
Look at that! What an honest.
I got a fan out there.
Finally.
One fan.
NA for $6.66 says, why are we doing this? Is Nathan really worth anyone's time? Hail Santa.
He's a lol cow.
Here's why I do it. I do it so that a science denier might have an opportunity to proudly declare that he thinks that measurements have no margin of error. So that when somebody else might come along and watch it, could say, oh dear God, how could somebody be that stupid? I don't want to be like that person. I'm definitely not going to think about the flat earth anymore. Because that's a bad idea.
Or that anatomy and paleontology are not science.
Yep. Or that his own citation.
This is your brain on flat earth, basically.
He did not want us to pull up the citation because he saw that his citation said that astronomy was part of science.
Yeah, you wonder how
Yeah.
we even found that. Like, just Googled. What
He
did he?
prob-
What do you think?
He probably got that from QE. That's one of QE's citations.
That was cool that we insisted on seeing it, and then it would. I mean, not even knowing, but just with utter confidence that it was cherry picked, and it just turned out to be true.
Well, it always is.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
This isn't my first rodeo with flat earthers.
That's what happens with creationists too.
Young Earth creationists.
They're very
right?
similar. They're very similar, aren't they? Young Earth.
Yeah.
I think
Yes, you're
it's
correct.
worth saying Young Earth because old Earth creationists are like, whatever. What does
Yeah,
science say? Don't care.
I need to get better at that. I kind of lump them in.
How dare you, Snake?
I get
Yucks.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
People
Old Earth
are saying-
creationists could technically be evolution people, but
We are.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think evolution's awesome.
Yeah.
My wife, let me tell you this. My wife was raised way more conservative than I was. Went to yeah, I'll just say that. And she is farther than I am from young Earth creationism. And it's gotten me surprised sometimes. Because her mom's still, old school. Tim Tully said, did Nathan get kicked off the pot farm? What was he I don't know. There might be rules against, smoking the product without permission. But he had that hat on in the debate.
That was a cool hat.
Was it?
I want one.
Do you think it was his like working hat to keep the sun off him?
Hot hat?
I don't know.
Hot farming hat? I don't know.
It had like a visor on it. Like, except for
Yeah, what would that
gambling
be
out in the
for?
sun. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah. I didn't see it a lot because he was kind of small. And I only was looking on the top part of my phone.
Do your taxes
Sweet.
and get a suntan at the same time.
At the end, he was in the dark, so it was hard to see too.
Well, it's an improvement. JL Warren says, time to play Whack an Idiot. Smash that dirt farmer back in his hole. And then JL Warren also, Nathan, calls people's homophobic comments. Also Nathan, sends me D-pics.
What?
Raise your hand.
Cancelled.
Raise your hand if you've received a dick pic from Nathan.
You have?
Are you jealous?
No.
Yeah.
Is that? Are you serious? That's wild.
Well, I was happy that he did have
In this climate?
a thin layer of fabric in front of it.
Was he watching your videos?
Oh, I hope not. Oh, I did meet him in person. And he's like, feel this right here. And he had me like feel his arm right here where there's a tendon that goes right here, right? He's like, it's building cartilage. I'm like, it's not, but you wouldn't want cartilage there.
Ooh, golly.
It's part of that anatomy science.
Does that mean
not
what I
science.
think it means?
Yeah.
I don't know. His dog looked at me and said, please help me.
Kill me.
There's literally a disease where
His
if you
dog's
have
name is
too much
Geo?
cartilage there, you can't move your arm.
Yeah. That would. I saw, do you know Ricky Gervais?
I
Yeah.
do.
He has his buddy, this dumb friend,
Oh, Carl?
Carl Pilkington. Carl
Yeah.
went to India, and in India went to visit some Hindu whatever guy that had his arm raised for like 40 years. And his arm had actually, like, the bones had all formed, and he couldn't put his arm down anymore. From shoulder all the way up to his hand, it was all just calcified. Not because of a genetic problem, but because he'd done that for 40 years.
Why did he do that?
Because he was devout? I
It's
don't
like
know.
Oh, some religious thing?
It was
Yeah.
a Hindu thing. I don't understand.
You got to respect that.
There's something about that kind of dedication. True. Anyway, a Marvel girl, who is apparently now my number one fan, says, lay off the meth, Nathan. And Saeed Ahmed, Nathan is such a gamma like his homeboy Witsit. Here's Witsit again.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
I should get some Nathan in here. Well, now I have some Nathan from this. Wow. I have 8 Austins demanding refraction analysis. And I used it on Austin when I debated him. He was so mad. Austin was so mad because he tried to use that same old thing, tried to look at the 1 foot high observation with heavy refraction and pretend there isn't any. And I just kept playing him. JL Warren says, Nathan, debate me on the existence of your God. I don't know. He's a terrible debater. He's so bad. I don't know if he would, but JL, talk to James at Modern Day Debate. He might.
The first time I emailed Nathan, he said he would only debate me on Flat Earth if it was all using the Bible.
Wow.
So I was like, I said I would try, but I never heard back.
What
from
if
him.
you just like said, okay, that's fine. The Earth or the Bible thinks the Earth is flat.
I did say that. I don't know. I didn't really have a game plan, but I just wanted to debate him. So
Never happened?
no, I never heard back from him. So
Darn.
yeah, but I was gonna try.
Yeah, I like that thing that Mike that you were doing when you kept bringing up that refraction thing and that last thing you had, because that's just mystifying to me that they'll bring it up when it suits them and then ignore it when it doesn't. Like, you ask them, well, why can't we go up in a plane and see the edge of the Earth? Well, because of refraction, or you can't see that far, or this sciencey thing and this sciencey thing.
Yeah, like, could you not see from an airplane? You should be able to see the Burj Khalifa from anywhere, right? Or from at least within several hundred miles. Because if it's lit up, you should be able to see it at nighttime, especially. And they say, well, it can't get through the atmosphere. Like, but the stars can. The light from the stars right above the horizon can somehow get through. But the light from the Burj Khalifa or the light from a large, city couldn't. Doesn't make sense.
It's that inconsistency there.
Yeah. All right, let me. Luke Filewalker says, if I calculate the pre-resistance needed for an LED, I can choose the closest resistance available because there's a margin of error anyway. But he doesn't think there's a margin of error.
I wanted to bring that up, like when we teach people about, I'm an electrician, so when we have a new trainee, when we teach them about electricity, we say, well, it's kind of like water, it's kind of like this other thing, and it's just a simplification to get your brain wrapped around it, but it's not accurate. Like, it doesn't work like water. In some ways it is, but it's much more complicated than that. You got to get down to the atom and really get at it. And so I mean, science is like this. When we try to teach people the scientific method, you got to give them a baseline and then build from there. So I just don't know what's wrong with doing that.
It doesn't fit their pre-selected conclusions. So
Mike, you're in like engineering, electrical engineering or something.
I studied electrical engineering. I've been, though, a software engineer for my career. So I haven't used it professionally.
Whole flow or electron flow guy? I don't know what that means.
So AT2 Productions is a practicing engineer.
I just pull wire. I don't have to know all that.
So is Word of the Wild Home. Yeah, that's a bit engineering level and not electrician level.
Yeah, that's
right?
The weird thing is, like, for me to make these systems and houses work, I don't have to know any of that. And that's kind of how this world of science is built. Like, It's only like when cars break down. I know that, okay, well, maybe I didn't put oil in it or something, but when it really breaks, I have to go to the experts. And any flat earther would do the same thing. You have to trust the experts. We're stuck because we all can't specialize in every single thing.
Yeah. That's true. I did all my electrical in my basement myself. So in your own house, here's a question. In your own house, if you're going to swap out an outlet, do you do it hot?
Of course, I'm a man, aren't I?
And how many pliers have you welded?
Many. Many. And I don't buy any pliers less than like $70. So.
Ooh. Yeah, I just go with the Menards pliers.
I only buy German-made Weehaw pliers.
Oh. Weehaw. No. Just the
Weehaw?
cheapies for me. That's nothing. I don't do enough to justify the expense myself, but
yeah, I've been shocked many times.
yes.
Wait, a pliers guy. Is there other tools you use?
I don't know. Well, to simplify things for flat earthers,
What are pliers?
sometimes I prefer to use just the simplest terms. Like when you're doing work on stuff, there's applicators and there's things that measure things. So you call them a meter, right? So something that would measure length would be a lengthometer, right? Fancy word would be tape measure, but it's a lengthometer. And then you have applicators. So like this thing here.
Whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Yes. What's this thing? It's an applicator.
To screwometer.
No, it's not measuring things. It's
Dang it.
an applicator. So it's going to end with applicator. What does it apply?
Force?
Force.
Twist.
Torque?
That's a twist applicator.
Torqueometer? Dang it.
That's
I'm
not
smart enough
science.
for this.
It's a twist applicator. This is a Phillips twist applicator. Now a hammer, fancy word, the actual thing, it'd be a pound applicator.
Oh,
Are you allowed to say that on
So
stream?
you pound thing. I don't know why.
You're gonna get demonetized.
For a pound applicator? There's maybe other
Pound
applicators.
applicator, baby.
Nice. So about LEDs and resistors have a margin of error. Remember this from
Everything has a
school.
margin of error.
And they test a resistor, and they sell the resistors so if they're like, it's going to be a 3 ohm resistor, they're like, if it's very, very close to 3 ohms, then that's a more expensive resistor. Right? So they put those out and they sell them for more. But the cheap ones that you get in your hobby kits, they don't sell those that have the really small margin of error. That middle margin of error, well, that means that's going to go to a mid-level, and the cheap ones, they're going to have a big margin of error, right? But the ones that have a smaller margin of error, they've already sold off. So when you buy a resistor that's cheap, it's not going to be in the middle. It's going to be either too high or too low by a gap. Fun fact.
That's
There you go.
interesting.
Sean Hawkins is talking about his pound applicator. Yeah, I don't know. What you do when you're all alone, I don't want to know about. El Abaca says, Nathan, who measured the wood to be 3 feet? Nathan's wood might be more 3 centimeters.
I knew that this was going to divulge into this at some point.
Absolutely.
Well, so could I apply the twist and the pound at the same time?
Yes.
Asking for a friend.
That's advanced techniques.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Is
Google
it-
image
is
search
it-
that later.
And my guess is it's not a Phillips tip.
No.
And Mass Debate is asking questions about this. Mass Debater.
Mass debater?
Yeah, there's somebody in the chat
Yeah.
called Mass Debater.
65 foot-pounds. I don't know.
Wow.
David Brock has a hammer that's a thumb detector.
That's true. That's funny.
I've had that problem. K-Bear. All right, K-Bear says, so how long until Nathan is back claiming he never said there are no errors in measurements? Or will he stick to his guns? That's a good question because
That's a good point.
He was way off on that. And
well, he did admit, like, I guess there are sometimes, but I think his point was like, well, see, science admits that there's errors, so it's wrong all the time.
No, he's going to say, therefore, it doesn't prove things.
Oh, yeah,
which we all agree with, but he thinks
right.
Science proves things. So, and John Rapp says, I'm confused. Is Nathan a duck, goose, or chicken? I don't know. Hey, where did Davey go?
Davey had to catch a flight.
Really?
That's what he said.
So why did he schedule?
He did the Irish goodbye. He just kind of
pieced
disappeared.
out.
Yeah.
Did you just dip?
He said he only had an hour.
Oh.
And then left.
And Microraptor says, after the FDFE debate, the modern day debate, and this after show debate, we need some time to be silly and make adult jokes. Yes, make sure the entendres are all doubled, please.
James doesn't give us any leeway. It's too serious.
Yeah, but he calls me Melvin all the time. And he says everybody is related in weird ways. That's his.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's your brother, it's your father, it's your.
Yeah. So
it's got a funny thing going on.
My dad is Steve McRae.
Yeah, is that real or is that just a funny?
He said that about many people.
I don't even know who is that.
Steve McRae was one of the hosts of the Non Sequitur show, which was a debate platform that kind of was ending when James was starting.
Yeah, is that right?
He's got long hair, so you can see the resemblance.
Yeah, they were contemporary for a little bit, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to them?
Non Sequitur?
Yeah.
One of the guys tried to hijack all of it and kind of take it over and spent all the money, apparently.
Cool.
Steve McRae is not the one. I forgot the name of the other guy. Anyway,
Steve.
I never understood how they did that.
No,
with
Kyle.
so many people.
Kyle. Yes. So it's just two of them. They had lots of guests all the time.
Oh,
but
there's
just
two main guys.
Just the two main guys, and it was supposed to be like a partnership. Apparently, it wasn't a partnership in the end because Kyle did things that supposedly were not good. There's been a lot of lawsuits, and anyway.
Yes.
Well, I hope they come back.
Steve wanted to get paid in some unorthodox ways, I think, and then he's very aggressive. So I think Kyle started scheduling things without him, and certain guests wouldn't want him on, especially like some of the bigger atheists, because he's the guy who's like, atheism is only a positive belief that gods do not exist, and so he was getting a lot of. That was Steve's thing.
Oh, Steve.
So they started to kind of sideline Steve, and I think he wanted out. He wanted 50-50 of it or something. Kyle wouldn't give it to Steve. So
So
you look like that guy, therefore you're his
No,
son.
he has said that
Kinda.
to many people, actually.
Oh, is he?
So here's the funny thing. Of all of the people that I've met doing this topic on YouTube, only one person do I have common friends with. I have a couple people I know in real life, but there's a couple people I have common friends with. Or sorry, just one, and it's James. So a guy that I hired to write software knows James well, lives near him. And then just last week, I won't say who it is, but a guy that I've known for several years, we were talking about doing these things, like, hey, do you know James Coons? And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? He's like, oh, I did this with him. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So that's it. I sent James a picture of the two of us. He's like, oh, I know him. Anyway,
I'm in the same state as James, so I'm hoping to maybe do an in-person debate.
There you go.
Sometime soon.
You want to debate him?
No, but he likes to do. Hasn't done it since COVID, but I don't think. But He likes to do
in person.
Everyone in the same room kind of debate.
Yeah, I mean, they were starting that up right before the
Yeah.
whole thing locked down. That was really a shame.
Yeah. I got a gas mask. I'll do it.
That's cool. What the hell is
This is a twisted Rubik's Cube.
Ew. Does it work?
It does. It totally works. Now, it is harder to solve because the centers rotate, and I have this one center that's rotated, and there is no algorithm to unrotate that, to rotate it just the one center. I have to mess it all up, redo it, and then hopefully don't have that problem. So I'll stick with this one.
Wow. Yeah, you're pretty good with that thing.
It's my fidget. I just, like, when I'm just thinking, I just sit here at my desk, and
or when you like to trigger people you're debating.
So Tony Nayum, who debated FDFE today, he got really mad when I started doing this during our debate.
I remember
several weeks ago. So yep, I can solve it quick here. Not really fast. That's the thing.
I've seen those things on YouTube where they like look at it and blindfold themselves and then they pound the thing and just.
Those people are crazy.
They're like robots.
They just and they have like these artisan cubes that have magnets between them, so that when you twist it, it snaps into place with a magnet.
Gives you some haptic response.
Yeah, and then it's I think you can corner cutting, right? So you can do this, and then you can see how it's a little bit off.
Yeah,
you can, and then it fixes itself. That's why these edges here have little bevels on them.
That thing's like magic to me.
Yeah. It's just patterns.
You like those things, Snake?
Yeah, I had one. I never really solved it. I never bothered to learn the algorithm.
My brother was into those when he had cancer. He was in the hospital, and that was like his thing. That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. I have several. I don't know where all of them are right now, but I have up to 7.
I had a kid in my youth group. He was obsessed with them. He had this one that was like this big, and it was like it had like a million different sides.
Oh,
and he, like.
All right, here we go.
Have you seen those like auto scramblers? It's like a little robot that'll scramble it up for you.
Oh yeah, that's how they do it in those like pro. Yeah. Look at that.
Damn.
Badass.
Yeah,
I bet James Coons couldn't do that.
No,
even though his traps are bigger than ours.
He played football.
He played something.
He played football. I know that. Yeah, that was the guy that I met, or that I know that knows James. He's like, oh yeah, he was a walking muscle.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Oh, we got Jack Zong in the chat. Oh, I haven't seen him forever. He was gonna try to get something going on Modern Database with somebody on. Is a topic that will get you blocked from YouTube. I'm like, nope, not me. About some of the things that are going around nowadays.
What does it rhyme with?
Slackzine.
Oh yeah.
No, magazine. How about that?
They want to debate that? Wow. What does James think about that?
I don't know. It sounds like it. So. Jack said my potential debate partner is still only tentative, and I think I've taken enough of a break from flirfs. If you want me to be on for an after show discussion or a 2v2, let me know. All right, Jack, I will hit you up.
James will take some pretty racy topics.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything off limits for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would happily host several of those. It's kind of outside my.
But you probably get demonetized, huh?
That's the key. I think YouTube has to have some sort of a system where people can, at YouTube, can say, all right, this channel is doing these things and this channel is doing these things, to not get automatically flagged. I don't know. I hope so.
They have a lot of behind the scenes tools.
There's a person in the chat here, Mallory. Is that the Mallory that does the flat earth debates?
Yeah, that's Mallory.
Oh, that person is interesting.
Oh, she's a troll. There's no way.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that that's a real thing that they're doing.
I was laughing so hard. Her comedic timing is just perfect.
I know. It's almost like it's planned. It's really funny. That's amazing. I've heard, I listened to this thing recently, and somebody said that they've seen her, and that hurts her real thing. But
yeah,
you know how that works.
Oral Enlave, who's also known as Lemonbird, said science still doesn't prove anything, yet we declare Aether is disproven. Science does falsify things. You could say disprove. But yes, the Aether has been falsified. Yeah.
Science is a lot more about ruling things out.
Yes. It's really good at that. It's fantastic at that. For example, science easily disproves the idea of flat Earth because the sun sets. 7 billion people every day unknowingly do an experiment to see if the Earth is flat. And for every one of them that the sun sets, it's disproven. The people in north of the Arctic Circle and south of the Antarctic Circle some days don't falsify flat Earth.
Davey was saying sunsets prove the flat Earth, and Nathan actually was agreeing with me that he was wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool.
How did he try to say that?
Because the horizon's at 3 miles, and you can see that it should be setting then or something. So
there's no plausible mechanism ever.
Well, of course, it wasn't actually proving flat Earth. It was just supposedly disproving globe Earth, which automatically somehow proves flat Earth.
Yeah, they think that.
Yeah.
This super chat's trying to get you to say a bad word.
Oh, let me see here. Fumduckery? You mean that? Says, still want one Flurf to explain how the Tropic of Capricorn measures smaller in circumference than the equator. I asked Nathan and Witsit on modern day debates. Nada. No, nothing at all.
Curious.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
I hope that Tom Jump gets his he's got his little argument that he always brings out is radio waves that you can shoot them at the moon.
Yeah.
And see that it's the same distance away every time. I hope that is there actually videos of people doing that? That's pretty darn good.
Video of people doing it? I don't know. I've never looked for videos of people doing it, I suppose, but of course flat earthers would deny it.
Yeah, but that might be the one thing that's like within their reach fiscally that they could do, at least, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever good enough. I just thought it was clever.
They could, they could do it themselves. And Bob Nodell has a ham radio license. I don't know if it's current or not, but he probably has some equipment.
Is that the guy that you're always pulling that little
15 degree per hour drift? So
has he been outed as a, Earth?
No, they still accept him.
Really?
So
I thought I remember that coming around that he's
his
globe shill.
There are some that claim that. There are some that claim every single flat earther is called a shill by some other flat earther. Every one of them, without exception.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah. So he attempted to, in his own tiny little brain, he disproved it by bringing it to a higher elevation, and then it measured different than 15 degrees per hour for a time. But that particular device says that you need to equalize the pressure before you use it again. So it needs time. So it's not designed to have a pressure change and then work without without giving it some time to acclimate to that new temperature, that new pressure. I'm not certain on that, but that's what he tried to do. The funny thing is, so say it measured 13 degrees per hour. That doesn't disprove rotation. What that does is that says that there is a margin of error, which they can't comprehend. There is a margin of error to instruments, which we know.
Was that little clip was from that Behind the Curve, right?
Yes, yeah.
And that was filmed right here on Whidbey Island. Well, much of it.
Yeah, with Mark Sargent.
Yep.
So that people are asking, what is this?
Haggis.
It is haggis. I'll put it up here for everybody to see nice and clear.
Canned haggis.
That is from Angel Gamer. Thank you very much, Angel Gamer. I will eat it. Maybe. Oh my gosh, it's mostly liver. I hate liver. Yeah, I will.
That's my people's food. Found out I'm like 100% Scottish.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you go to that Scottish restaurant in that we have here?
Well, no. Where is it?
It's a pretty big restaurant chain in America. That's a Scottish restaurant.
Oh.
It's McDonald's.
Yeah, I go there a little too often.
Yeah, all right. Yes, Aurel Enlave is Lemonbird. Lemonbird, I tried to contact you on Discord. I don't think I have it. You got to come on here again, Lemonbird. It's been too long. Plus, somebody sent me a lemon in the shape of a bird, which I'm just dying to use for the thumbnail. So
what's that mean?
So he goes by Lemonbird.
Oh,
that's the name that he gives himself. But for some reason on YouTube, he goes by Aurel Enlave. Aurel, which Arave Enlay. Arave would be from gold, Auric.
Pig Latin or something?
I don't know. And Enlay, I don't know what Enlay is. Maybe it's a bird thing.
Lemon bird. That sounds delicious. I love lemon chicken.
Gary Donnelly. Oh, I love hot haggis. You shouldn't notice the offal. It's mainly oats. And offal is a good word for liver. Did Flower show up tonight? Oh, so Flower was on Tuesday. So Fumduckery says, did Flower show up? Sorry. Steve 6464 said that. No, she did not. I didn't let her know. I didn't plan to have anybody other than these two and maybe Nathan on.
We got half of him.
But yeah, we'll do that. I'm still not certain on my plans for Tuesday. I may be going to go to a concert. It might not work out, and then I'll do a live stream. So. The concert is Megadeth.
Ooh.
I love me some Megadeth.
Isn't your intro like a big Megadeth song? Or
it's
something
not.
like that?
No, it's part of. It's from the YouTube free music library. They're royalty free or copyright free. It's called Demilitarized Zone. That's the name of the song. I forgot the artist. It's just a guy, but you can find it. Anybody can use it. People have. Their free music library is pretty good. The song I did of Austin Whitsitt saying "I don't even cuss, bro."
Oh,
that was from the free music library, and I have one done on Mark Steele, the 5G insane person. I have a song, a music video for him. And Renee M. Enemy was guessing it was Miley Cyrus. No. It'd be JoJo Siwa. Come on.
MC, do you know of any theories that are absurd to a flat earther? Like conspiracy theories?
Oh, conspiracy theories that are too absurd, maybe?
Yeah.
Most of them don't go for birds aren't real. I don't think any actually go for that. Cause
that's like my tactic with young Earth creationists is to compare it to flat Earth, but it's hard with flat Earth because there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, birds aren't real, or birds are fake, whatever they say.
Maybe we should invent some, like the moon follows me home. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Well, they don't go for the alien ones, generally.
Really?
So
That's
there's
But
there's
they might believe in reptilians.
they
on
do.
Earth.
Some do. Flat Earth
They're demons instead of aliens.
Yeah, Flat Earth Paradise, who's Devin Maggi, he has said several times that the Queen is a reptilian, and he probably gets that from Dubé, I'm guessing, because he's kind of a Dubé copycat. But he also does if anybody knows Quasi-Luminous, that guy is the most insane flat earther, I think. He literally claims that he is Lucifer.
Like Satan?
Yes, he literally claims that he is.
Wow.
And he also says that he has the Spear of Destiny.
I seen that movie.
Yeah, but he thinks he has the actual Spear of Destiny, and that if enough people do a blood magic ceremony, upload their video to YouTube, I think the number he's looking for is 144,000, that they can go to the center of Flat Earth, where Mount Meru is at the North Pole, and use the Spear of Destiny to get in, to open up the portal, and then go into Hyperborea, which they think is paradise.
Hail Satan!
I see nothing wrong with that.
That's literally, and Dubé has said many of the things that Quasi-Luminous has, so he's
I guess there's some people that think like the Earth is like inside out and the stars are like inside.
Yeah,
the
concave
Earth.
earthers.
Hollow
Concave
Earth?
Hollow Earth.
Concave are different than hollow. Hollow thinks that the Earth is a globe, but there's something inside.
Oh yeah.
Concave earthers.
Concave.
I've debated a couple. It's
Game of Thrones style.
Is that in the Game of Thrones universe?
At least in the intro, it's a concave Earth with the sun in the inside.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's
with
right.
the
Yeah.
Board that comes up or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we could figure out, if we could put on paper like their methodology for coming up with this is this. It's the same as yours. So you don't agree with them, therefore that's inconsistent. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah. I've had a couple concave earthers. They are more crazy. It's like Flat Earth wasn't crazy enough for them. It was too mainstream. So they had to go more crazy. But their map works, so they've got one thing going for them, which is good.
Wait, because it's the same as ours?
Yeah. The map actually works.
It's actually round. Well,
Yeah,
Where's the holes though that the sun goes in?
Yeah, none of it
doesn't
work.
work.
I mean, you can ask them questions. They don't
That
really,
part doesn't work.
Yeah, they're like, well, light bends in magical ways that it is necessary for our model to work, but don't actually work that way. So,
I'm a Godzilla truther myself.
yeah, that's Hollow Earth there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is Hollow Earth because of that movie, right?
Yeah. All right.
That's
Lemon
funny.
Bird says, I just love reading Lemon Bird. His stuff is so fun. Retroductive logic can be used to reason back to Aether as a likely framework to explain why light appears to slow in an interferometer like it's coming up against a treacly fudge-like substance.
Delicious. Not as good as haggis.
A treacly fudge. Yeah. Could you have a haggis interferometer, Lemon Bird?
I forget the experiment. You'll probably know. But when I first started getting into like flat Earth, I would debate them on Facebook, and they were all talking about the experiment that disproved the ether, and they were all saying this proves the ether.
Yes. That's Michelson Morley,
Yes.
which generally none of them have ever read. because all you need to do is say, all right, well, could you just send me the screenshot of the part where they concluded that the aether exists, or concluded that the Earth is flat, or concluded whatever they're trying to say. It's not in there, of course.
Yep. They don't like to read the whole thing. They just want to Control F, find their keyword, and be done with it.
Yep. When I went to the Flat Earth Convention in 2019 in Texas, and they had on their lanyards that everybody had, they had Michelson Morley, Michelson Gale, and a couple of other experiments. I think had Aries failure. But of course, Michelson Gale was an experiment to measure the rotation of the Earth, and it was successful. I don't know why you'd ever reference that if you thought the Earth was flat, because it doesn't work.
Well, even the Antarctic Treaty that says the military can't go there, they use as an argument for that there's a military presence there. It's always the opposite.
It is the opposite.
Somehow.
Austin Whitsitt has said that many times. And I actually have a video that I'm working on right now where I've collected a bunch of the times that he said that. Again, it's going to be installation number 2 in Gotta Light a Flurf.
Looking forward to that one.
Gavin Green says one Earth map works on concave. I could literally hear my eyelids blink and WTF going through my mind in slow-mo. Yep. Yeah. It's the only thing that works for concave. See, Flat Earth has one thing that works too. What is the one thing that works for Flat Earth? In the chat, anybody have the one thing that works for Flat Earth? Globe Earthers bring it up incorrectly sometimes.
Uh-oh.
The moon upside down in Australia.
There you go.
It works. It works on both. Do it. Put something on the ceiling. Stand on one side of the room. Go to the other side of the room. It's upside down. Right? The other things about the moon doesn't work. Right? Like, if the Earth were flat, we'd see different portions of the moon, which we don't see. But it would be, the orientation would be 180 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we went over that on the debate, too. I tried to explain, I think it was to Davey, that on a flat Earth, you would see different parts of the moon.
Yes.
And he kept thinking that I was saying that would happen on a globe Earth. Right. And I was like, no. No.
Davey takes, basically he takes the things that disprove Flat Earth and then just declares that they disprove the globe and doesn't really back it up. He just tries to say words around it to confuse people. That's what he does.
He did have good internet connection, though. That was stable as hell.
He works on the internet. That's his job.
Well, there you go.
Right, so that would make sense. So, Trillion, the moon should invert as it goes overhead on flat Earth. Yeah. Let me see. Lemonbird, you're saying a smaller setup for MG, Michelson Gale, can block 1K mile per hour of aether drift around the equator within 97% accuracy, yet somehow can't detect 66,000 miles per hour of aether drift from the Earth's supposed motion. Exactly, that's why the aether doesn't exist. It can't do both. Now, here's the thing.
Mysterious.
You can take the results of the Michelson-Morley experiment, just the data from it, and not take their conclusion and just examine the data. Right, so you could hypothesize that the Earth is flat and the aether exists, and look at the results of it in isolation of everything else. Don't look at anything. Don't look at the stars rotating and with two celestial poles. Don't look at the actual measurements of the radius of the Earth. Don't look at other things. Just look at that in isolation. You can say, okay, either there still could be an aether, and it's stationary along with the Earth, or the Earth is moving and the aether is moving with the Earth. Right? Those are the two things that you could conclude if you take Michelson-Morley in isolation. But as soon as you add in Michelson-Gale and still include the aether, then it doesn't work. Because Michelson-Gale measured rotation. So Michelson-Morley, if the aether exists, Michelson-Morley measured stationariness, that the aether is moving with the Earth, or both are stationary. Michelson-Gale measured aether moving, if the aether exists. They contradict each other. They can't both support the aether.
But then, what does light move through?
It doesn't. It's a particle. It is.
What happened to that one theory of like there's the sun, but then there's like the dark sun next to it? That you ever heard of that one?
For eclipses?
No, it was just there was a theory going around for a while where somebody caught pictures of like a hidden sun that's next to the other one.
Yeah, that's when they look at
Nibiru.
Nibiru.
Yeah,
I don't think that was Nibiru. I think the Nibiru is a different thing. That's a planet or whatever. I don't think flat earthers go for that too much.
No, oh yeah, that's not it.
Does the dark sun cast cold light?
No, the moon does that.
The
apparently.
moon does that. Snake. Come
Well,
on,
I know
man.
that.
Yeah.
Duh.
Here's Lemon Bird. Lemon Bird, you got to come on so we can talk about this. Tuesday, man. Let's do it. Your interpretation, he says, attempts to salvage the notion that Earth moves. Drop that and you still have a very consistent interpretation. The Earth is, he says, the Earth is geocentric at rest with aether flowing gently. If aether was flowing gently, then Michelson-Morley would measure that gentle flowing. But it didn't. Now, some flat earthers will identify the margin of error in the Michelson-Morley experiment. Of course, some flat earthers we discovered don't think that margin of error exists. And yeah, the Michelson-Morley experiment did have a reasonably sized margin of error, but it's been redone many times since then with significantly smaller margin of error and found the same thing, that it would have to be stationary with relation to the Earth. And Michelson-Gale has been done with significantly larger or smaller margin of error since the initial one. Also measures rotation. So it doesn't. But I just gave it away. I just gave away our debate, Lemonbird. You'll have to come up with better than that. There you go.
I love how flat earthers, they'll reference like the first experiment or something and then act like no one ever repeated it, no one ever improved upon it or had other experiments to measure the same thing.
Exactly.
Is this person you're talking to commenting in here?
Yeah, he's Arave Enlay.
Oh.
He's trying to boss me around, trying to tell me to drop Copernicanism. Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
You're not my dad. Ulrave.
Well,
oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they the only flat earther in here, or are they something else?
Mallory was, and PJC Net was. I don't see him right now.
God bless him.
Flat Earthers roll call. Are you here? Raise your hand. Come on, let us know.
Push 1 if the Earth is flat.
Now let's Lemonbird. Let's schedule something. If you're on Discord, send me a message.
Ariane will be a flat earther for a price.
He charges $50 an hour.
Everyone's got a price.
No kidding.
1.3.
Would you shill the flat Earth for $1 billion?
I have
1 billion.
I've tried. I'd like to do a switching the table debate, where I take the flat Earth side and a flat earther takes the globe side, but I don't know if anyone would actually be any good at it. Joe Hill said he would.
That would be a good challenge, though. If somebody would take that challenge,
I think he
Steel
would.
Man.
I think he would just like. But the problem is, I think they would just
joke around with it.
do the dumb things that they think that we do. I have a plan. I have stuff that no flat earther has ever presented.
You have flat Earth proofs that have never been unclassified. Wow.
And I want to save it because I have a feeling that after I do it, those things are going to show up.
Oh, hey, see, that could be a thing. You should go undercover. If you're a flat earther, turn off your ears under a different name and like start introducing theories and then see if they come up.
Yeah. See, there we go. We've got
flanking maneuver.
Joey Rocha is in the chat. Joey, good to see you here. Joey
sorry.
Joey wants to debate, but I keep asking, hey, Joey, let's debate. And he's like, I don't want to debate. So come on, Joey. He's using Aaron Rocha. That's his wife's account. So.
Well, obviously you have hidden flat Earth proofs because all the globe earthers, they really know. All the globe scientists.
Apparently,
yeah. We're just keeping it. But NASA only pays me like
it's the presup
a little
Earth,
bit. So I'm for sale, flarthers.
The presup flat Earth defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the gospel is in your heart. You're suppressing the truth of the flat Earth. That's what Paul meant when he wrote those words.
It's true.
In case people don't know, what is your background, so they have an idea where you're coming from.
I was a professional Christian for almost a decade, so I know what I'm talking about.
Did you go to seminary?
No, Calvary people don't do that.
Okay.
No, we just make our own. We make our own unaccredited colleges and call it good.
Marty Moose, I remember MC Toon, losing his temper in the first Joey Rocha debate. That was amazing. I did. I yelled at him.
How long until flat earthers, this might have already happened, create like a institute where they give out degrees?
Kyle Adams as the Flat Earth Institute of Science. I've had him on here.
The F-E.
Yeah.
He has a bachelor's degree in art and has declared himself to be the professor of the Flat Earth Institute of Science. That's it. That's what they have. There's also the Flat Earth Community.
Professor?
The Flat Earth Community University with Flat Out as the dean of students. But that may or may not be sarcasm.
Well, there you go.
Satire. Funny thing, I a year ago I went on vacation, met Flat Out in person. It was awesome. Went rock climbing with him. He's a certified instructor. Yeah. That's
cool.
But he's not a real fighter. Just so you know.
Oh, he's not?
No. If people know Flat Out. The Flat Out universe, Flat Earth Community University. Yeah, the Kitsune Cavalier says "feck you rules." So, yeah, my ugly identical cousin McFlatty loves feck you and wants to go there. Wants to apply to go to college there. So.
Wow.
I wonder what their tests would look like.
He had one test on his channel. His channel's still up. I highly recommend. It's just flat out. So yes, flat out does great experimentalizations. Go ahead.
Snake does little goofy videos every once in a while, don't you?
Yeah,
That might be one you could do. Flat Earth University.
that would be good. Yeah, my most recent real comedy one was I got into a Hovind rap battle.
Oh
with
yes,
Atheist
yeah,
Jr.
yeah. I watched
Who
that.
did the voice? That was really good.
Like I said, I did the voice.
Oh.
Me and Atheist Jr. each did our own impression.
All right, people, you got to go watch that music. It's way better than my music video. It's I loved it.
Thank
It
you.
was awesome. Oh, I forgot. I missed this one from Foam Duckery. Says for $2. I believe in local aliens.
Oh, it's a goof.
Local.
That's gonna have my head spinning for a while.
That would be somebody from a different country coming here.
Or alien locals.
Steve 6464, I think, talking about Flat Earth Community University and tests, says flirths do not. I'm gonna say flirfs do not grade on a curve.
That's funny. See, there's some more content for your video there,
There
Snake.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Writes itself.
I gotta write this down.
Yeah, get a paper.
Oh yeah, I also try to do April Fool's videos too,
Yeah.
where one of them was me coming out as a young Earth creationist and debunking evolution.
When was that? That's funny.
That was last year, I think. I collected evidence all year.
Were you successful?
Yeah, I was a creationist for a day.
Wow. Young Earth priest. So have you?
Yes. Sorry.
Have you listened to any of the debates on Unbelievable
I've listened to all of them.
with Justin Brierley?
Yeah.
You've listened to all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to all
Not
of them.
all of them, but
I since I started this, I've stopped listening, but yeah, I listen to a lot. I like Justin. When I started, I sent him a message on Twitter. Said if you know, or I think I emailed. Said, hey, if you're ever gonna do a Flat Earth one, oh come on. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's too stupid.
Oh,
He didn't
that's
say
funny.
stupid. but
Wow.
yeah, he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you have to contact the wish.com version of him named James Kuntz.
I even get weird looks when I say I'm debating flat earthers. Like people are like, why would you even talk
I know. I was telling every person that would listen to me that I was going on to debate flat earthers just recently. That was like the greatest. They're like, are you serious? That's real? But I was trying to unearth some imposters. Because every once in a while, some people will be like, "Oh," and then you know that you found one.
There's a channel. There's a handful of channels. Speaking of, because we were talking earlier, of conspiracies that are too crazy for flat earthers. So there's a channel, Michael Salla, Salla, and Elena Dannon, Danaan. They both talk about aliens and the amazing taxonomy of different aliens that they say exists. Elena claims that she often meets with these aliens, and they have given her the 10 items of the Prime Directive that aliens all must adhere to unless they're in rebellion to the Galactic Federation of Planets. Seriously, it's just Star Trek.
Oh wow!
Like, but they're like,
checks out to me.
So if anybody wants to really get into some of the stuff that's too crazy for flat earthers, there you go.
Well, Elena, what was it?
Elena Dannon, Danaan.
Okay.
Nick, Professor Phil Bell wants to say hi to you. He thought you were awesome.
Oh, thank you. You're awesome.
Let's see, what did PhD Tony says? At least some of it from MC Toon fans. I'm apparently hurting his channel. You're not hurting my channel, PhD Tony. I don't know what. I'm missing the context of that conference. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting feedback. I should not be debating Flat Earth. At least some of it from MC Toon fans. I'm apparently hurting his channel.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Let's see. Gavin Green says I should get on TikTok. I am. I've already give your channel a mention along with FTFE. So yeah, I am on TikTok. I haven't done videos on there much. It's such a different format, and so I need to really figure out the way that works. The few that I didn't have the response, so I didn't do them right for TikTok. I just need to figure out the right TikTok.
Well, YouTube has like a TikTok-y thing going on now too.
Yeah, their shorts deal, and I've done a few of them. And the newest version of Final Cut Pro that I use has a vertical video auto convert. I've not tried it yet, but I might give it a shot. Fumduckery for $5 says, I almost still hate Joey Rocha, but I will get to Hawaii one day to purge the rest of the disdain. Oh, yeah. You know what? I talked to Joey on Facebook Messenger, just the two of us, probably 2 months ago. We had a nice conversation, just a chat, not about really letter stuff. Just his wife was, I think, about to have a baby, I think. It was a nice conversation. So it was a good chat. That's why I say, Joey, you got to get on here. So MC TikTok says effed up world / Joe Hill. Hey, Joe Hill.
TikTok.
Joe Hill. Are you going to go to the Megadeth concert on Tuesday? Anybody in Minneapolis, St. Paul area going to go to the Megadeth concert? So.
Yeah, kids these days, they need TikTok. They don't want to watch anything over like 30 seconds. That's where the future is.
Yeah. Oh, it's sad. I mean, you have 3 seconds to get somebody to decide that they're going to give you another 5 seconds. That's it. That's it.
It's funny how they evolve like that. Like Facebook used to be hip, now it's for old people. YouTube's pretty much that now.
And I think YouTube still has a little broader pull than that, but like Snapchat was for high schoolers, and now they're all in their mid to late 20s. So the high schoolers aren't on Snapchat; they're on TikTok.
And Instagram, but that's not videos so much.
That's true.
Instagram's, I think, is even our kids. I don't know. Fumdockery says, watch out for Riley on TikTok. He's targeting kids while pretending to be a kid to preach flat earth. FTFE is making a video about it, I believe. Yeah. That might be a good 1-minute video to put on TikTok or as a YouTube short.
Yeah.
That Anthony Riley is a child predator.
Oof.
I guess
would that get could you put that in the first 3 seconds to get somebody to listen to the next 5? Maybe.
I'm all ears.
There you go. Maybe I should. So BV
I
there.
have to kind of use some alternative spellings.
Yeah.
Than child predator?
Yeah, like maybe a 3 instead of an E, something like
I
that.
suppose. I mean, I'm not saying that he is currently a child sexual predator. Not currently, at least.
Yeah.
He is a child predator.
You got to get a whole backlog of pictures of you, just your face like this.
Reaction photos.
I can do that. I know me.
Every video that I'm going through my YouTube thing, it's just one after the other, just faces like that.
You gotta have you gotta get that clickbait.
Yeah, it
That's
works.
all it is.
It's the damnedest thing.
Mm-hmm.
All it is.
I want to be surprised like that too.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn the art of the clickbait.
It's a hard art.
Mm-hmm.
Effed Up World says Mega No, swamped with work. BV says they are playing with Lamb of God. They are playing with Lamb of God. There's 1 or 2 other openers too. I listened to a little. They're pretty good. So, but since doing this, when I'm working, I do listen to music still, but not nearly as much as I used to. I more listen if I'm not doing something where it takes a ton of focus. I'm listening to some science content or flat earth content or debunking content while I'm working.
Me too, all day long. Pulling wire and listening to James Coon.
Mm-hmm.
Imagining his muscles.
Be like pulling that cable, like, this is a hard cable to pull. I need me some James.
He's the debate daddy.
He's my debate daddy.
Did I just coin that?
I don't know. You know what though? His channel is now larger than the Non Sequitur show.
Mm.
Wow.
So
what is it at now? It's
54,000.
Amazing.
So now he was under 400 watching today, but I think that's because FDFE was going at the same time and had most of the non-flurf audience.
Friday night's pretty crowded.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So last week, we were supposed to do this last Saturday, and like an hour before the debate, Davey emailed and was mad at James for the partner he had, which was Latter-day Saints. He said he wanted to pick a partner.
Ah.
Is that what that was all about?
So he took he went lateral.
Yeah.
Instead of up.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time getting all these guys separated in my mind. They're all the same to me.
Oh, like Latter-day Davey, to his credit, Latter-day Saints is actually one of the most despicable humans ever. Definitely not as good of a person as Nathan, as hard as it can be to believe. Latter-day Saints, when I had him on, I showed a video of a rainbow inside after he claimed that you could not do rainbows inside. I played a video of a rainbow inside.
Oh, I remember that.
And rather than address the rainbow that was inside, he saw the kid and accused me of things about that kid.
What?
Kicked him off. Yeah.
Oh, I thought... I remember you brought that up not that long ago, and the guy was saying, well, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room.
Yeah,
that's different.
That goes, that's a different...
Because
they claim that rainbows are curved because of the dome, but they don't give a plausible mechanism.
Mechanism?
Is it bouncing off the dome somehow? Show the geometry of how that works. They can't. They just say it can't happen inside. So you show it inside.
The guy was like, there could be a mirror in that room somewhere. I'd have to go there and make sure they're not lying and have some guy in the mirror back with a mirror. Like what? What do you think's happening here?
That goes to their paired pseudoscience, science denialism. That's denialism, right? It's the impossibly high standard of evidence for things they don't like, where the standard of evidence for rainbows can only happen with a dome is the statement rainbows can only happen with a dome. There's no
causal
incredibly low standard of evidence for that.
Well, you heard it from Nathan. The snow globe model is perfectly fine.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Does that mean it like comes down underneath a little bit, like the rim or something?
No,
How does that
it's
work?
turtles all the way down.
Yeah.
Oh, turtles.
Yes, turtles.
Nathan's old, former friend, he has a long list of former friends. He burns bridges a lot. But Nathan's former friend, Flat Earth Millionaire, doesn't think that there is a dome. And Nathan does. And Nathan actually wanted to debate him on that. Like, he wanted Modern Day Debate to host that debate. Like, so I sent a message to him like, I'll host that debate. That would be funny.
That would be wild.
It'd be hilarious. Like, because I have no horse in that race. I don't care.
Not at all.
They're both dumb. They're both equally dumb.
Does Flat Earth Millionaire do debates?
No, he can't. He has anger issues.
Ooh, well, I mean, I think some of them have
Well,
anger
yeah.
issues.
But
More than that?
I'll say I have seen his rap sheet. That's all I'll say about that. So yeah, I think he knows that he shouldn't. Oh, there, that's why that playing. So yeah, yeah. Wasn't he challenged and didn't pay up? Yeah, so Flat Earth Millionaire had a $100,000 challenge and a second $100,000 challenge to debunk a video by Hibbler Productions. And several people have done it, but of course he redefines things. So he's the sole judge. Anytime that the person issuing the challenge is the only judge, then it's a fake challenge. So.
What was the court case? Davey was talking about a court case where supposedly Flat Earth won the court case.
Likes that. So Zen Garcia did a challenge, $5,000 challenge, I think, and for something, I think measurements of the curve, and the guy a guy submitted a response that was actually just a computer program that was like doing the calculations on the curve. I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, that's not measurements of the curve. That's not anything. That's just the pure math about it. But that guy then sued Zen Garcia, and the judge didn't say that Zen won. The judge threw out the case, saying there is no case. Zen Garcia makes it clear that it didn't prove anything either way. There is no, there's nothing that court case established about the shape of the Earth. But
that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, but Davey didn't listen to what Zen Garcia said about Zen Garcia's court case. So
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Well, I better get going here. Thanks so much, MC Tune. I really appreciate it. Snake, that was awesome. That was really fun. Man. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you reached out to me.
Yeah, thanks for getting me on there. I don't think I signed up on that sheet, but I think James overlooked me, but since you recommended me, then I got in there. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was you emailed me, and then like a couple days later, James was like, "Want to do Flat Earth debate?"
That was a wild coincidence.
Like, heck yeah.
You made my dreams come true.
Yeah, man. It was fun.
Well, anything, I'll wrap it up now. Anything you want to say, Snake?
No, I mean, just Flat Earth is dumb, I guess. What else is there to say?
It's entertainment for intelligent people. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I have a video coming up probably tomorrow on Jake the Donkey Anus. Be looking for that. We'll see you all later. Bye.
See ya.